I will tell you guys when we actually begin. And we are live. So yeah.
Hi-oh.
So hello everyone, welcome to session 11 of the Dragon Fall Pathfinder campaign. I hope you will enjoy it, and I'm gonna shut up now.
Thank you, Finn. We're here again. It's me, Tout. We are short our goblin again. Hopefully everything's going all right with him. We are going to be having our oracle show up a little bit late. I'm sorry, he informed me of that. So hopefully he'll join us not too long from now. Does anyone remember what we did last time?
Raise the dead.
Yes.
Technically, you're not wrong.
The group has returned from the tunnels of murder across the desert of pain back into the oasis of woe and have resurrected a member of the cohort.
Is there
Yep,
anything
that-
Sapine would like to go over with her adventures in death that we had?
Weird things happened, that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Oh, okay. So I believe we ended last time with Sapine having just been risen, and the doctor pulled out the hobgoblin corpse and is starting her autopsy.
Yeah, because we were just talking, and she just was like, "Okay, well, if they're not going to walk out, I'll just keep working."
Okay. Could I get a perception check from everyone?
Okay.
You,
That's good.
do, 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 do.
That's real good.
I have a question, your perception is plus 16.
Yeah, how
Yes.
is that?
How did you get that?
I have a lot of things going towards perception, including my utility.
Does the DM know about those?
And they're on my character sheet.
Well, you got 6 ranks, so that makes sense. 3 for your wisdom, 3 for
Why would
it being a class skill. What's the +1 miscellaneous? Oh wait, you got a luck stone, that's right, that applies to that.
I put the APC in the wrong place, but yeah.
What's the
So that's-
APC? Or ACP?
Yeah, I put that's from my skilled kineticist utility, which adds half my level to certain skill checks.
Just in general?
+3.
Okay.
That
And that just
engineering.
gives you a bonus to general perception?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, everything looks like it turns out there. Alright, so all of you will notice that as she's pulling it out the hobgoblin, getting her tools, one of the tools she pulls out is a black-bladed kukri. And it looks very sharp. For those of you who got over 20 on that, you can probably tell that that black blade is probably adamantine.
Does it seem magical?
Yes.
Can Sapin roll something to determine the magic?
Spellcraft.
Yeah, she has that.
I have a rank in that as well.
You can roll it.
Where is
Oof.
my? Okay. Do. Oop.
Well, you can both tell it's
Okay.
enchanted. You can't really tell what type of enchantment, but it's definitely enchanted.
I guess Tatsu doesn't want us to know what with.
Now, for everyone but Matteo and Sapine, there is something else that catches your eye, just briefly. when Sabine woke up from her death, she was holding a wine glass that she wasn't holding before.
Huh.
Wait a moment. Should they like roll for that to notice
That's
that?
what that perception was.
God damn it!
That was the general perception of the room.
Uh,
I mean, you knew that
Sabine?
too because it was in your hand, but they noticed that.
Oh, what you got there?
Sabi just looks at him, smiles, and says, "Oh, nothing. Just some wine."
Is that so?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Crom, it's a magical wine glass.
Ooh.
A very strong magical wine glass.
No, stop moving. Oh, come on.
Fail.
What are you rolling here?
Trying to detect what it was. Because I have detect magic on, and then I got a really low spellcraft roll.
So because detect magic, you can tell the strength of the aura. So the Kukri's aura was moderate, not a weak enchantment, but not a strong enchantment either. The wine glass? The description for auras go all the way up to overwhelming, and I can't tell you how much higher it is beyond overwhelming.
Essentially,
And this,
it should be blinding you.
Yeah, it is a little bit blinding. It's like looking at the sun for too long.
yeah, he's gonna kind of take a step back and just be like, "That's no ordinary glass of wine."
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I know you see the aura. I've seen you look at magical objects just like I have.
Oh, do not worry. I do not need. I don't need to see it in order to know it.
Okay, do you want to talk about it?
No, not really. It's just magical wine that I'm probably gonna drink later after I've determined what it exactly is.
Do you want me
Oh,
to have a look at it?
No.
Okay.
alrighty then.
Yeah, it was given to me by a semi-dead person.
Oh, you mean like your little friend pointing to the orb?
More dead, but also not really.
So you all hear a crack as the doctor slams the kukri into the chest of the hobgoblin and pries open the rib cage. She pulls it apart, and then after she pulls it apart, she points the now bloody kukri at you, Sapina, says, "I'd be careful with that." And then she goes back to cutting open the hobgoblin.
Interesting. Well, so moving on. Now that we have our good friend back, what's the plan?
Doctor says, "Well, I'd rather you not stick around here all day, but if you really want to, I'm not going to stop you. Just don't get in my way."
Well,
Again,
yes,
another.
that's why I was asking them what the plan is so we can get out of your hair.
Well, don't we need to get answers from the body?
Yeah, I mean, I presume you guys have talked to the
And
big boss half dragon.
not, well, yes, actually.
Well, then what did he tell you to do?
I
In all
don't think he
the
actually
in all
gave
the
us any.
emotional
Yeah, I don't think he actually gave us any uh new orders just yet. I think I remember him just saying to like take it easy and like get some rest and deal with Sabine.
Well, if he has not given us any orders, that means our job is done, and I actually have an adventure, guys.
Oh,
Yes.
Why
well,
am I
go
getting
on.
a bad feeling from this?
Alright, so to the south of here seems to be a big frozen wall, right?
Okay.
And an extremely important individual is currently traversing there.
And
So
an
the frozen
extremely
wall
important
is
individual.
so the frozen wall is the mountain range south of the caldera. It's perpetually winter on top of the mountain.
Yes. She's not changing this, she knows this. She just said it like that.
Well, I'm just reminding because that's common knowledge for the people from the caldera.
Yeah. So,
Frozen
what we should do
wall.
is go south, find this individual, and explain to him that he's kind of splintered. You know, he's kind of splintered into three things, and if any of those things, let's just say, if any of those things dies, horrible things will happen.
How do you know this individual?
Oh, it's okay. I've talked to his soul.
I look to the
That's
floating orb.
quite the wild story you've got there.
Well,
The orb.
have
So
you ever died, Chrome?
No, obviously.
So the gem pipes up, says, "I have. I just don't remember it because it wasn't me."
Oh, by the way, I'm talking about your brother.
Oh, you met him.
Yes, well, I met his soul. But I also met his body, but not his mind.
I
Well,
would be more confused if it didn't actually make sense considering my predicament.
Right. Does that mean you're like your brother and split into three?
I mean, I'm a duplicate of my creator's original soul.
So
Or whether I am
more-
the actual soul is debatable. I'm not sure. I don't have a body.
Yeah, I
well,
just you see, guys, I kind of need to make her a body. That means I either have to make some kind of automaton, or I have to kill someone and then do some necromancy on that someone, and then implant her into that someone. And at that point, then
well,
it's not gonna be a someone; it is gonna be her.
I mean,
yeah, let's not do that.
well, no, just hear me out. I mean, we do have a powerful cobalt body.
Yeah, let's not do that.
As you guys are talking, the doctor's kind of looking in the body and goes, "Well, that explains a lot."
Sabine just
She
turns
The
towards
doctor.
her.
she reached a clawed hand in and just kind of pulls and rips out the heart.
That is a heart.
Yeah, do you notice anything unusual about this heart?
Do I have to roll something?
Can I roll
It would be a
perception?
heal check.
Oh my
I'll
god,
try that.
does she actually
Ooh, I've got really good heal. Hang on.
She cannot roll that because she doesn't have that as a class skill.
I got heal as a class skill. I may as well roll.
Heal
That's
is not
only
one
with-
that has to be a class skill. Anyone can roll it.
Oh, okay.
That bonus is just from 2 skill ranks. That's it.
Yeah. That's about what I expected.
So, Rom and Matteo, you can tell what's wrong with the heart. It's blue.
Why is it blue? Is it meant to be blue?
It looks healthy other than the fact that it's blue. And even after a heart's been pulled out of the chest, it should still retain its red color.
Is the blood red?
Yeah, the blood's red.
That's weird.
Well, the rest of their body is blue, so I mean, perhaps there's a connection there.
Sabine, you on the other hand can roll a knowledge arcana.
Ooh, she has so much of that. Let's do this.
Ooh, I put one rank in Knowledge Arcana, so I can as well.
Yeah, you can roll that.
What?
You know,
Ooh,
I don't crit fail on skill checks, and that's actually still enough for the DC.
He wrote more than me, and I have so many. I have 10 more points.
So what you can both tell is that dragons' abilities, like their breath weapons, their magic, and a lot of their abilities, come from the heart. That's where it originates from, and so something that is draconic, the more their heart resembles their draconic ancestors, the more in tune with that power is. And essentially, she just discovers that these guys are in fact tied to some sort of blue dragon.
Okay, so Sabina's just gonna put her hand under her chin. She's gonna start thinking, and out loud, she's gonna say, So they seem to be connected to blue dragons, who happen to be the enemies of these dragons in the oasis. And you guys have a dead ancient blue dragon encased in glass, and there has been a long blood feud between these two dragonflights.
Well,
sounds like a war in the making.
Well, the Dr. Pipes up says, well, our species have been at war since conception.
Alright, so my theory is that the blue dragons have somewhat enchanted these hobgoblins, and they have infiltrated and taken over the dwarven city, so that they start building up an army out of the dwarven city's equipment and know-how, and out of the hobgoblins' numbers, and they are gonna be probably invading soon.
Well,
I don't think
is
they
there any way
enchanted
you
them
could?
so much as they bred them.
It's like, yeah,
Is
they're not enchanted with draconic blood. They are, descended from. I mean, she pats the corpses as my daughter, who was just here helping out here at the hospital, is the same type of dragon brood as this thing.
Is there any way you could test the heritage of this dragon, whether it matches the blue one? If you have any samples.
She thinks for a moment and says, "That's not terrible. I just have to get permission from my brother to get a flesh tissue sample from the, corpsicle out there."
That would be very useful. The more information we have, the sooner we can act against whatever these guys are doing. And the sooner we get paid, and the sooner we can go home, and I can go on an expedition. Yay!
Definitely. Well, I need to, give my findings to my brother. He was wanting to know exactly what's going on, and I just needed to. I don't think I need to examine it any farther than the heart. That's proof.
By the way, thank you, Truckerzode, for the follow. Much appreciated.
So, well, I'm going to go to my brother as she takes a cloth and wraps up the heart in a cloth.
Infinite
Alrighty
baby noises.
And I think we should probably get some rest, and then we should talk to him ourselves about the payment he mentioned.
She's like, I mean, probably not a bad idea. Although it's midday, I don't know how much rest you guys.
Well,
I'm not going to
after
tell you
our-
how to do your adventuring thing.
I don't feel tired.
Well-
I was literally dead.
Yes, that's the thing, though. With the whole battle with pointing to the body, him and all his buddies, I'm still completely drained of basically all of my spells.
Well, we don't need to get into a fight before later tonight.
That may be the case, but it's a crazy world out there. Who knows? Things
She stops and
happen. It's always
says,
better to be prepared.
she's waiting for you guys to leave, and she says, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you right now. If anything attacks the Oasis, there are at least 200 dragon-blooded, battle-trained individuals here.
My god, the yelling.
Well,
I mean, can't you hear them out there? They're roaring.
Yes.
Your guest here. You
I
don't.
don't necessarily mean here in the Oasis. I mean, if we have reason to go to this mystical barrier that Sabina's talking about, we'd want to be prepared on our way out for that.
I would just like to
Mystical
mention.
barrier.
I would like to mention the whatever you are talking about is probably the mountains to the south, and that's very far away.
Well, it was what you were talking about.
But I didn't talk about any mystical barrier. I was talking about the frozen mountains.
Well, yes, but I was basically just using that as a general term to describe what you seem to be talking about. I don't know.
But, Chrome,
It's your adventure.
Are you alright, Chrome?
we live in a world of magic. There is a difference between an actual mystical barrier and some really cold mountains.
I don't mean a literal mystical barrier, okay? It was a metaphor.
Metaphor to what?
Just don't ask.
Well, now I'm confused as well as the DM because you know the name. The word she used was the name of the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't a reference to anything. It was the Frozen Wall is a place, and it's a place you would have known of because it's not that far from your home.
Oh, well, I as a player didn't know that.
I said that like 10 minutes ago right after she mentioned it. I said, and for you guys to remember, the Frozen Wall is a place south of the caldera.
I must have missed that bit. Anywho,
Anyway, it's like, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to go check with Donovan and let him know that if the rest of them, I wish I had more bodies so I could compare, were like this one, then we may have a problem on our hands.
oh, they all were. They all had the same blue skin.
But
And
they were
lightning
all the
affinity.
same. They were all the same, horned and fanged and clawed.
Guys, how
Yeah.
many of these bodies have you brought in?
One.
Well, we only
I
brought in
burned
this
the
one.
rest.
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
doctor-
Raphael.
The doctor looks at you and says, "You burned the rest of the bodies."
I tried to, and I didn't stay to see if it actually would burn.
She puts a hand to her face and says, "And you didn't think that examining all the bodies could be of importance to anyone trying to learn about them."
I rolled
Well,
perception
I just
to
thought the powerful mage one would have been enough.
And I don't think that we'll be having a shortage of these bodies with as numerous as they seem to be.
She looks around and says, "What numerous bodies? I've got the one."
Well, I don't mean here in particular. I mean, like when we were checking out the destroyed caravan, there were a vast many trucks.
Can I roll perception to try and remember details about the attackers?
Did you write any details down?
Not more than what's been given.
Well, perception is not how you would do that. Perception is perceiving things.
Have you actually examined them? Like, have you run
No.
Okay, so you can even do a memory check.
Yeah, no, after they stripped the bodies, Matteo threw them in a pile and burned them.
See, Sabine is a little happy about that. They fucking deserve that.
Well, I I'm going to go talk with Donovan, see if we can organize. And I guess our worst case scenario is if there's armies of, first generation dragon blooded, that means that there's enough half dragons to be leading them efficiently. So, oh boy, we have quite the handful. We have maybe a dozen dragon or half dragons here.
Didn't you just say that that you guys have like hundreds?
I said dragon blooded. That means first generation, second generation, even some third and fourth generation.
Dragon.
Dragon.
All right. So your dragon flight is rather ancient, right?
And Dad is or Grandpa, Dad was the, I don't know, middle child out of his clutch, but he was the only one that stayed.
All right. So surely you have made friends, you've made allies and such, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have contacts. I'm sure Donovan probably is going to need help contacting them.
All right, so we just send out messengers to all of these potential allies. We are gonna get them all in, and then you guys are gonna form an army, go there, smack them, and we get paid.
Well, again, your pay is up to Donovan.
Oh, I do not presume
Well-
you would pay us.
We still
No.
need to go collect our
They-
pay from our very first quest, which was to inform Donovan.
Trouble? That was
Yes.
like 50 gold. What is 50 gold to us at this point?
No, I
Well,
meant
he did mention that he planned to compensate us for the trouble that we had.
and there's a blacksmith there that could work the ore we found.
Oh, David, he said on his way back that he wanted to stop and try and find a village he scried to find the rest of some sort of yada yada. I stopped paying attention after a little while. At any rate, David's still out. He'll probably be back, hopefully soon, but oh. He's a bit of a scatterbrain, although if he finds what he's looking for, he's probably going to bolt back to his forge.
Alrighty then.
So keep your eye out on the skies, because he's not subtle about flying into town.
Okay, so yeah, Supin just turns
Oh.
back to the group and says, "So, what are we gonna do? We have Striker, what's the time on my heads-up display?
It is 2:35 and 67 seconds.
So yeah, she just says, "So it is early afternoon. What are we gonna do,
Yep.
guys?"
Well, we do need to talk to Donovan as well, so we might as well tag along with her.
Oh, I thought you guys already spoke with Donovan.
Well, briefly before we decided to come down here to get you resurrected as soon as possible.
One, I appreciate that. Two, money is more important than me.
No. He just says that as a flat, like straight up, straight faced no.
Oh, so you're saying that you did not use money to resurrect me?
That's besides the point.
No, it is not just besides
No
the
amount
point.
of money is not worth you, and I'd happily give up any amount of it to resurrect you, therefore making money far less important than you.
Oh, crap.
Some others might put a price on your resurrection, but there is no price that I would not pay for a life.
But you literally had to pay for a life.
A price that I do not determine. If I could have resurrected you myself, I would have.
Maybe in the future you will. Anyway, what do you guys wanna do? Are we gonna go to Donovan then?
Yes, because I do realize that we forgot to mention the fact that, well, they're far more well armed as well, and he's gonna pat the mithril, enchanted breastplate he's wearing. Case in point, this. They're equipped with armor on this scale, and weapons, such as enchanted longswords and such.
Well, it makes complete sense to me. I mean, they are getting the equipment from dwarves. And last time I checked,
Yes,
you guys tend to be rather good with smithing. She says, winking.
Yes,
I
that
was
is
like,
very true.
well, whatever you choose to do, I'm gonna head out now. So I do hope you all have a good day and figure out what you're doing.
Don't worry, we are gonna tail you. You are not even gonna notice us. We are gonna be the most subtle tailing group of companions you have ever met.
Sure.
Well, we should probably go get that ex-noble hobo dwarf and bring him to Donovan.
He was
We already
waiting.
did.
Yeah, he was with Donovan last week when you guys went to go talk with Donovan.
I thought we
You
forgot him
left
on the
him
boat.
there. No, you
Because we
took him
already
there
did plan on
initially.
coming back. Anywho, so Grum tags along with her.
Yep, Sapin goes as well.
Rebel follows him on.
All right. So you guys get to Donovan's office.
Wait, what about Matteo?
Oh, Mateo, yes. What are you doing, Mateo?
She's following the not present Aoden,
Aww.
which would basically mean she's going with the others.
Aoden, where are you?
Lost in Space.
That was a really good show back in the day.
Yes.
And then a terrible movie.
And then a mediocre Netflix adaptation.
I've actually not seen that one, but I've been told it's kind of meh.
Yeah.
Not as
At
bad
any
as
rate.
the movie. Anyway, yeah, let's continue, sorry.
Yeah, let's just say that we're all following each other back to Donovan's office. And Bethany there just kind of leads the way. Opens the door and Mary stands up and says, "Oh, Aunt Bethany, it's good to see you." And she's like, she just waves, says, "Is Donovan in?" She's like, yeah, he's having a discussion with some people about what the plans are. It's like, good, I've got news. And she just walks in with her, cloth, package.
Sapin follows. As she follows, she waves at the lady.
She kind of waves back, like, "Hi, guess you're going in too?"
Yeah, I came back from the dead.
Yeah, I noticed that. Congratulations.
Yes, I can see time now.
I don't know how to respond to that.
It's alright. I've also spoken to someone who, like, could think things into existence. It's weird.
You don't say.
Anyway, have a good day. And then she follows. Then she follows the doctor.
Grum will just give her a wave with an apologetic look as he follows.
Rebel shrugs. This is just life.
Theo would just give her a little nod as she walks by.
Well, alrighty then. So, inside of Donovan's office is Scrapper, again. Izumi is there as well. And now we also have Gray in there as well. With his, fox companion. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Balto went around the outside because he knows he can't fit through the door, but the window is still open.
Just like to say, imagining a wolf sticking his head through a window that he barely fits through is adorable. Just yes, hello, I am here. I am part of this conversation.
And Nisha is on his head, looking in as well.
Matteo has probably a lot to explain to Gray, considering what Balto and Nisha have done.
I can just imagine a Dosword just appearing and sticking his head through the window next.
I mean, for him it would be no problems because his neck is like thinner than mine, probably.
Yep.
I don't know.
And now a camel.
Suddenly a camel. Start smoking camels. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a stupid. That's a stupid joke. I'm sorry.
So Donovan looks easily distressed, and he is playing with a brass gemstone in his hand. Supine and Chrome, this gemstone is magical.
What can I roll to determine what it is?
Knowledge Arcana.
Yes!
Okay. Wow.
Even with 20, you are nowhere near.
So when he was talking with Steve a couple days ago, when he asked if before the contract was transferred back over to him, if when you guys went to collect the body, if there was a heartstone, if he could collect it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a heartstone of a dragon. Heartstones are highly powerful magical amplifiers. And you can only find them in older dragons' hearts. And the larger the stone, the more powerful the hearts, the amplification it can cause. And normally they are about the size of a small gemstone like you'd see in a ring. This one is about the size and length of a pen.
So about a softball size?
So it's thin. It is like a pen shape. It's like this little rod in his hands that he's kind of twirling around.
Essentially, imagine soul shards from Skyrim.
Yeah.
And is its aura like on any level and compared to the glass of wine?
No, definitely not. It's just a very strong magical aura.
Yes, what the Sapine has with her is more powerful than a fucking dragon.
Yeah, see, that's what's concerning me
power.
out of character.
But yeah, he's just twirling this and kind of playing with it as he's just thinking. And then he sees you all and says, "Oh, welcome. And young Sapine, it's good to see you alive and well."
Yep, I died, but then I got better.
And then says, well, I have, it's not the first time I've seen that. It's definitely a harrowing experience.
Yes, I have talked to a person who's been turned into 3 other people, and each is like a soul, a body, and a mind. But the mind doesn't exist anymore, probably, so we will have to replace that one.
He just kind of stares and goes, "You are probably thinking of some sort of death hallucination."
No, I also see time.
He opens his mouth and closes it and says, "Well, side effects of resurrection can vary."
Yep.
Yes, I wasn't sure what to say either.
Yep, and then she just goes in the room, finds a place where she can sit down, and she sits down.
Well, there's there's single people chairs, and there's also a couch in there. And Scrapper is currently in one of the single cushion chairs.
Yep, she just sits down in one of the single chairs.
Gray is lounging on one of the sides of the couch, and Izumi is standing.
And Cromwell remains standing. So,
And so-
I would also like to say one thing. Sabine doesn't actually really know who the dwarf is. Like, she has seen him before she died, but she actually never spoke to him.
Other than him, telling the whole party on the ship that, the hobgoblins have been in charge of the dwarf mine for some time.
Yeah, but she just technically doesn't know him.
So, by the way, one thing that I forgot to mention while I was kind of a little bit in grief was, well, the hobgoblins are very, very well equipped, including enchanted armor, and not only just enchanted armor and weapons, but also some mithril items as well, such as this. And then he's just gonna like kind of pat his fist against his chest.
He nods and says, "Well," Scrapper says, that's what our mine was primarily known for, was mithril."
Also, the sorcerers are really scary and also big assholes.
He's like, "Well, yes. I was not or Azumi goes, "Yes. Hearing about arcane spellcasters among hobgoblins is extremely rare. They usually, if any of them have the natural talent, such as with a sorcerer, they usually brutally murder them before they
That's-
can grow into power."
It seems like this one had some kind of leadership position among the group that attacked us, and he absolutely did not care at all about his companions. He even went as far as hurting them while attempting to hurt us.
He was like, "That doesn't sound like a leadership position." Normally, so in the rare instances that hobgoblins do allow an arcane spellcaster to remain, usually they are used as a slave work and as a directional explosive in a sense, because hobgoblins become imbalanced when they delve too much into arcane magic. That's one of the reasons why they are brutally murdered.
Let's not forget that they also had a quite powerful magical staff.
Yes, it seems like
And
they happen to have magical equipment, rather powerful one, from what I understand what my companion said.
And perhaps this magical inefficiency can be corrected by the blood that runs through their veins, the dragon blood.
Oh yes,
No.
our friend over there is about to tell you something.
She says, "Yeah," as she pulls out the little cloth and puts the blue hearts on the cloth on Donovan's desk. Says they've got first. He was a first generation dragon blooded. Again, they didn't bring back any other bodies, and she kind of glares at Matheo before she goes back. But if they have any sort of force with this, that means they have at least enough to have half dragons leading them, and so that could cause issues. I think we maybe at most have 25, 30 first generation dragon blooded. And I don't know if we could deal with this in force. Donovan kind of looks distressed as he stops playing with the heartstone and puts it on the desk as he examines the blue heart. Yeah. And he takes a sigh and says, "Well, I'm glad I sent out Vic to scout out the blue dragon in the north to see if she has any connection with this." And he puts the heart back down on the cloth. Hopefully he'll get us some information. If anyone's going to be able to, it's my older brother Vic.
Silence.
Sorry, my kids were asking me a question.
Ooh. Chrome,
All right.
Yes.
what's your class again?
Divine Commander War Priest.
Does that mean, so with the words war priest, are you by any chance military?
Yes.
Oh, that means
Especially being a Divine Commander.
okay, so that means with this, all of this should be like you just like going forward and just like trying to coordinate everything.
Yeah. Bethany's like, and with your permission, Donovan, I'd like to try and get a tissue sample from Valtharax there in the glass and see if he's related at all. Got a few things I can test to see how far away they might be generationally. He says that should be fine. If you want to get started on that. Shidan says, all right, I'll take this. And she gathers up the heart and says, I'll have a more detailed report, but, hopefully I'll have more information for you soon. And he nods as she leaves. Izumi clears her throat and says, well, if I'm not mistaken, Scrapper, you said that these hobgoblins have been in charge of your mine for, what, 300 years? And he says almost closer to 400, but yeah. And at least that's what I suspect and what my brother's information leads me to believe. Shinan says, all right. And hobgoblins propagate rather quickly. You can get, they are a little bit faster breeding than humans, but slower than goblins, luckily. But it only takes 2 or 3 generations of hobgoblins to accumulate any sort of real military force. But if we're looking 400 years, we're talking closer to maybe. She kind of starts counting on or tapping her fingers as she's doing some different math, and she says, "Well, we're looking at least 10 generations worth of hobgoblins if it's the same army or same group."
Didn't you say that the hobgoblin we brought in was first generation dragon? Hearted?
Well, if what the doctor says is correct, then yeah, he would be a first generation dragon blooded.
So either this dragon blood thing is recent and has no connection to the glass boy outside, or this is something that's still ongoing in terms of procreation.
I mean, hobgoblins don't usually send out veterans for scouting parties if this is what that was.
Exactly. Also, if this is multiple generations of hobgoblins in the number you are suggesting, would the city they potentially control really be enough to provide them with enough sustenance and supplies?
Domin's like, oh, you mean like maybe they might have to either spread out more in the desert and start raiding caravans who might be traveling and carrying supplies, and when we come across the remnants of those caravans, we can't find any consumable supplies.
Kind of like has been happening.
Fair point, fair point.
It's like, but if we're looking at, who knows? I mean, again, hobgoblins from even 100 years ago aren't still going to be alive, but if they had enough time, they would probably have a significant force. And if you have a significant force that is backed by a dragon, that's terrifying.
So in numbers, how many are we talking?
Oh, if they were able to maintain it, at a reasonable amount, and we're able to continue propagating for 400 years, we're talking about a force anywhere between 500 to 15,000 easily. And that's me being optimistic. If we really push it, we could be dealing with, 250 or 2,500 goblins.
Alright.
hobgoblin.
And how many potential warriors have you mentioned you guys have here?
Diamond's like, we have 200 adventure-worthy combatants.
She looks at Crom and says, Crom, you are military. What are those odds? They seem pretty bad to me.
Well, I think it goes without saying. We're vastly outnumbered.
And Diamond's like, yeah, I was worried about that. I was thinking about sending out some help and recruit and seeing if we can recruit from allies. I owe you guys payment for bringing this information. Maybe some compensation for, the issues you've been through. I have a set number here, but I still want to ask what you guys think is fair.
Well,
Donovan, that is such
one
a
of
weird
us,
way of doing this.
I am still learning the business of all this.
one of us did die for this, so it's kind of hard to put an exact number on things.
Well, I haven't exactly done anything like hiring people to go out and do reconnaissance like this, so...
Normally, I'd
Yeah.
ask Steve. He's good with numbers, but he's not available right now.
Yeah, he's back at the ship.
And neither is our other character that's good with math.
What character? What are you talking about, Crom?
I'm speaking out of character.
What do you mean out of character, Crom? Are you okay?
Oh,
Roman,
hush.
okay. Treble says this somewhat jokingly. We could ask Bolto. I mean, he did manage to somehow obtain a wagon.
So Sabine gets up, walks up to in front of Donovan and says, "So, let's just start from the the usual start. And how much would you be willing to pay?"
He looks at you and says, well, I was wanting to know what you thought was fair. He actually puts a hand on a box and says, I have a set amount that I can give you at a maximum.
So, basically, you want us to say a number, and if it's too high, we negotiate. If it's too low, you get a better deal.
He shrugs, says something like that.
That is an extremely weird way of doing this, Donovan.
Like I said, I'm still learning all this myself. I'm an adventurer at heart, and I have an idea of how of what this should be worth, but my adventuring days were years ago.
The troops get restless outside.
Yep. Donovan, you need to get yourself like an assistant or something. Anyway, so how long did this journey take us, guys?
Oh, about 2 days.
Chrome, you're military. What is the going rate for messengers?
Well, just for a simple messenger, no more than maybe, depending on the distance, anywhere from 10 to 100 gold.
Alright, so let's do a medium of that, and let's say 50 gold. There's 6 of us, and how many days was it?
That was 2 days.
It's only been 2 days.
But messengers don't usually engage in combat.
Well,
And
they also usually don't scout enemy forces.
And we had to provide our own transport.
Alright, so what is the usual wage for a recon squad? Again, asking you, Crom, you should know this.
For a recon squad, it depends on the level of danger and the amount of mercenaries hired and the amount of combat they end up getting in. Is there something I can roll to know something more that, like, I as a player don't?
This is more on your own personal preference on what you feel is appropriate for what you've done.
Okay. Well,
But
and
he
given
is
the
kinda, he's also kinda trying to pull information out of his history, though. From a military background.
yeah, well,
See what that might be.
I'm doing some calculations. I'm opening Excel, guys. Do not worry, math will not be a problem. I came prepared.
woohoo!
Let's see. So the average, group of adventurers for hiring would probably be to have them go on a mission and hire them to go and do something would probably be around 5,000 gold to hire a scout group.
Not yet. Haven't been able to find any
How much money you got put aside for a car?
right now.
Yeah.
500.
Wait a minute.
Crom,
Giving
are you having an outside
like,
conversation without
500,
muting yourself?
Like 225
Chrome!
plus the bills and everything.
Wrong.
Crom!
Sorry, hang on. My roommate came in and we're talking money. Just give me a second.
We are talking
Mute
money here
yourself.
as well. Okay, so
I gave
wait,
100.
wait. He's muted, but we can still hear him.
Mm-hmm.
What witchcraft is this?
What is this?
Either way, they would leave
Guys, you can see the mute button on him, right?
What?
me on
It's coming through you, Finn.
What?
farming because I got forewarned.
It's not.
Oh,
It's gonna be
no, it's not.
another job besides the one he's got.
Okay, I'm gonna move Crom.
That's weird.
That was
So-
weird. I don't understand that. That was scary.
Sapine, seeing as you are the one who is dead, how much would you want to be compensated for the fact that you had to go through that?
She doesn't care. She came back. That's all she cares about. She needs to fulfill her prophecy.
I mean, your 27k debt.
Are you saying that in character trouble?
No, this is out of character.
Okay. So you said 5k, right?
That's how much it would be to hire a scout group to just go out and scout something.
Yep. So yeah, Sapine is just gonna. Let's just presume that Chrome said that to Sapine, and Sapine is just gonna be like, "All right, so what about 5,000 gold?"
Oh, well, that's definitely less than I was planning.
See, and that right there is where you've made a mistake, because now I'm gonna increase that to 10,000.
And that's how much I was actually planning on giving you anyway, as he opens up his box and starts pulling out. I believe we got a total of 6 people in our party, right?
Yep.
As he starts pulling out 6 bags.
Wait a minute, Donovan. Are you trying to give each one of us 10,000 gold?
Well, yeah, that was my plan.
Donovan.
One of you died,
Donovan,
You guys went out. You brought in information that can allow us to actually prepare for this.
Donovan, I'm usually not that kind of person who is like this, but you are trying to give every single. You are trying to part with 60,000 gold to absolute strangers.
He says, yes. Well, I wouldn't say absolute strangers. We've talked on it several times. I hired you for a mission, and I said I'd pay you based on the information you brought.
But you should be more. You should be more picky. You should be more, more sleazy when it comes to money.
He just kind of looks at you and says, I'm not a sleazy individual.
Sabine, why are you arguing?
Sorry, but what do you say? So what do you say, Mano?
Sabine, why are you arguing about this? Fair work, fair pay.
She looks at Treball and says, Treball, I come from a poor family. Every day we struggled to have enough food.
Yes, and you literally died on this quest, and now you're getting paid.
Yes, but I got better.
Yeah, for a lot of money.
I'm back.
You still get just accept the money.
He said and says, Sapine. He holds the heartstone in his hands. He says, do you know how much this right here alone is worth?
Can she roll like appraisal to be able to tell?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do that as well since I'm back. Sorry, it was important stuff that I couldn't ignore him about.
Okay, Chrome, next time mute yourself.
I did.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. We could hear you
But
the whole time.
But I literally did.
No, you didn't. Go back to the video and you will see or hear.
I did.
We could hear you. We could hear you still.
I don't know how you could hear me. I also
Yes.
heard you guys talking about it, but I couldn't exactly comment back. But yeah, I don't know why it wasn't working, but I 100% pushed the button. I don't know why it didn't work.
Yeah, we even saw the fucking symbol, but you know, we can still hear you. That was so fucking weird.
Okay,
So-
appraise for...
Okay, so
Oh,
I will
yeah.
explain what's happening, Chrome. Essentially, Donovan is about to give us all 10,000 gold, and Sabine stepped forward in order to barter this shit, right? And now she's trying to get Donovan to give us less money.
Oh, you rolled that bad? Oh,
No, it's
the
because of
two.
her character.
Well,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Crom and Sapine, you know that it's worth more than what he's offering you, but you have no idea how much.
How close
Treb,
am I?
you know that what that gem is worth at least twice as much as what he's offering you guys.
Okay.
But you don't know the exact amount.
Can't say exactly how much that gem's worth, but it's a lot more than 60,000. Probably more than 120,000 gold.
Yes, but are you planning to sell it?
Oh, this? It's going to get used for something here.
Exactly.
And that's just the one thing we got from my dad. We also have bones, scales, fangs, horns, plenty of stuff that we're going to be using for weapons, armor, equipment.
She actually looks a little, she actually looks like she's about to, barf, and she says, "You are not planning to eat him, right?"
It's like, well, we're not planning on eating him, no. We were going to, bury most of his, flesh and whatever alchemical or magical components we can get out of those. We're going to use those.
She just exhales. I was worried that you guys are gonna eat him.
I mean, we did sell some of it to the, city in the caldera.
Wait, you sold your father for meat, for food?
Listen, dragons use everything. We use everything. You use every part of it. You don't let any of it go to waste.
See, I can respect that. That actually makes very natural sense, but also...
Ian, it's their culture.
I know. I'm sorry.
Treble steps forward to
Oh.
take one of the bags.
Sapin
As I say,
Sapin just takes her bag and just goes back to the chair, just like curled into a ball.
okay, so he's offering us 10,000 gold each, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so I suppose I can do a diplomacy check. Because, I mean, unless I crit fail, it can't hurt how much we make.
I've already taken my bag, so you can argue with him about your 10,000.
Oh my god, I love how Sabine is the thrifty one, the fucking greedy one, and she is the one currently shaking because she was paid too much, she feels. And you guys are trying to get even more. Ah!
I mean, we're adventurers. We're here to make as much gold as possible.
So what exactly are you trying to get out of with that roll?
Like to barter for the amount with the 10,000 as the current base.
So you're trying to get more?
Why would
Yes.
we need? I don't see why we need more than what they're good. 10,000 gold each seems plenty enough. Not
Well,
anger,
yes.
fucking.
Remember, the
Dragonborn.
resurrection spell costs 25,000 gold.
Yeah, we like doubled that. We made double that just now.
You do guys realize how much fucking money Steve has right now, right?
Yes,
You
but
finally buy that boat.
Like, like at this point, it would actually probably be worth it to just kill Steve and take his money.
He goes, all right, I'm not going to give you any more gold there, but we were planning on making some weapons. I could probably see about getting you one of the weapons we're going to be making from my dad's remains.
a nice new axe would be amazing.
No, we could
I
definitely
love
do a
me old-
Dragonbane axe.
I love me old dwarven war axe here, but I mean, it doesn't. Well, it's nothing special, other than special to my heart, of course.
We could definitely see. David's going to be doing most of that work, but I'll probably be helping him with that, and a couple of us are. We could definitely see about getting you dragon bone war axe.
That would be amazing. And
Yeah. It'll probably have flaming and dragonbane on it, if that's all right with you.
well, I'm perfectly fine with that. I also was looking into improved tower shields, if that's
I
at
mean,
all
we
possible.
could do a tower shield of scales.
Is because as much as I love me tower shield, I need something lighter that doesn't, encumber me as much, but also offers relatively the same protection.
I mean, you'd be looking at a mithril one, which you might be able to manufacture. I mean, dragon
Okay,
scales
well,
wouldn't
if
really
I
make it
were-
much in the way of lighter, just a different material with different properties.
Yes, well, if I look into getting you some mithril for that, could we work that out as well?
I mean, we have some supplies of mithril here,
That works then.
and we keep a general stock of supplies in case we need, some alternate options.
Well, with that, he'll just offer his hand then.
He'll reach out a clawed hand and take it.
He'll shake his hand, not him,
Shake the dragon!
and then and then he will take his bag and turn for to let Matteo take hers next.
So yeah, and then again, he has the bags there. So
Krom, do you want to grab the bags for the others while they're not here? Give it to them later?
I suppose I could do that. Just let Adoswar carry them, because that's a lot of gold.
How much does it weigh?
let's see, how much does a coin weigh again? I think it's like
50
10
coins
coins.
weigh 1 pound.
Okay, and so he didn't give you gold; he gave you platinum because it's again that much lighter or less than gold to carry
Okay, so
around.
1,000 platinum then.
Yeah. So 20 pounds, I think?
Yeah, that's 20 pounds.
Yep.
Okay, so that's I'd be carrying a total of 4 bags, so that's 80 pounds. Okay. It's a good thing that I can't actually be like movement encumbered by weight unless I go over my maximum.
We really...
So Sapine, are you still refusing to take your bag?
No, she took it. She took hers.
All right. So,
She's
you know,
she's in a chair. She's curled up in a ball, and she's like having like a fucking moment.
it's like, and I was going to ask you all for I don't want to say favor, but maybe if you're willing to take on another job.
Oh, and what might that job be?
Let me guess.
Well-
Let me guess. We are gonna be going to one of the allies and trying to get them to help you.
Well, I was going to offer you several options that you could choose which job you wanted.
It's all right. It's all right.
And one of those is, yes, going and visiting some of our allies. We have made connections with several different groups. We were also, if you were so inclined, to maybe go scout out more enemy territory if you were wanting. Although I was not sure if you'd want to do that considering one of you died recently. You take an easier job.
Yes, I was wondering whether or not if I really wanted to go back in that cave to scout out that mysterious door that we now have the key to.
And the other, your other thing that I would have request is helping to fortify and organize here.
That's 3 things. What about the other 4?
What are there for?
You said there were several things?
Several, yes, 3.
Well, we are.
Not 7.
We have already proven that we are pretty good at the messenger job, so we could do that.
Well, so there's obviously the individuals in the caldera. I honestly think that we are probably going to be hit first before them. So if they could organize any warriors, that'd be great to get them here. I'm not sure what connection the Southern Dwarfs have with this group, if they're also under control or not.
That would be my faction, correct?
Yours and Treble's, yep.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we could probably talk to them ourselves, given that they are our people.
We were also wanting to notify the Wild Elves. We do have some contact with them, not a lot, and any support they could offer would be appreciative.
I look over to Matteo.
Mattheo's eyes like light up with red.
With red.
It's the meme.
We've made peace, and we have some peaceful relations with the giants to the east. Part of why I let David go off on his own, because he wanted to repair that blade and see if maybe he could use that as a peace offering.
Oh, very interesting.
Just a moment.
Matteo,
Yeah.
do you have any input about seeking the help of wild elves?
Seeing as you are a wild elf.
And there is one last group, which is probably the one I am loath to bring up because they're probably the most dangerous.
Oh my god, Steve!
Wait, there's a Steve.
Oh my god, Steve!
He just kicks
Steve!
the door and walks in like a boss.
I arrived, only a session and a half late.
So, Steve, I want to ask you really quick, so I didn't get a chance to actually fully ask. Are you alright with this entire time you've been working with someone at the shop to sell all the gear that we wanted to sell?
I have absolutely no idea what's going on, so sure.
Okay, so yeah, you'll be walking in after making a good deal and being told, "Here's a bag with 10,000 gold. It's yours."
10,000?
1,000 plat.
1,000 platinum, yeah.
Okay. Wait, an extra 1,000 plat,
Yes.
I know, right?
along with
I know, right?
the, what was it, 3,200 plat from last session? Okay.
That you just got from
Yeah, it was
selling all that
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
it was 3,200 platinum, 470 gold pieces, 7 silver, and 5 copper.
Well, here is my current wealth.
But the 3,200 was like meant to be
Party treasure,
split up
yeah.
among the group.
I do have it saved as both separate and in his wealth.
And so the last group that I'm going to ask you that if you want to, again, they're probably the most dangerous, and it's probably the most dangerous to go to, is the ice elves in the southern wall.
I looked to Sapine.
Why are you looking at me?
Didn't you want to go to the southern wall?
Yes, I really want to go there, but also we have a lot of money, and yes, I don't know. Chrome is the tactical one. He should decide.
So you have.
Sure she's been brought back correctly.
So to catch up, Steve, really quick. Sapine's been resurrected. Yay. They found out that the hobgoblins have been breeding with dragons, or a dragon, or dragons, or something. They're not sure what exactly because they don't know enough, but they know that they've got dragon-blooded first generations.
Okay.
And organized force could be anywhere between 500 units to 2,500, all potentially well armed. And so you can either go and scout more of the caves to see if you can find out more about their base, stay here in the oasis to fortify and organize, or go find allies.
Okay.
Because here at the oasis, they only have 200 combat-ready individuals.
Hmm.
And they're not an organized force. They're family members who either are current adventurers, have been adventurers, or have been raised and trained by adventurers.
So see, I would say that I'd rather like not risk the cave and then just go try to find allies, but at the same time, our group is mostly combat oriented, so if we went to go find allies, chances are in order to gain their support, we would probably have to do like some sort of quest for them as well and end up in combat anyway. So
Chrome.
I think our best bet is to go for the cave again
Chrome.
to finish scouting it.
Chrome, speak for yourself. I do not enjoy combat.
Well,
Well, I'm
don't
talking
enjoy
you
about our
guys
group
do
as a
have a
whole.
wild elf with you, so wild elves could be the possible easiest one. She just has to talk to her like village leaders.
We could go for the
I mean,
dwarf because, well, it's the same thing as the wild elf one. We already talked to our people.
Or we could just split up and go to all the places.
Oh, you don't ever
never
want to
split
party.
the party.
I mean, think about it. We could deal with all of the locations at the same time.
And what if what if someone gets attacked?
Well, simple. Don't get attacked.
Or, again, you could, this is Donovan piping up, you could travel together and just hit those spots as you go through them. I mean,
And what if we
three,
have now?
four of those are in the caldera itself.
Now, Donovan, think about this for a moment. So we were not very subtle about everything we have done, right? They have even found us after we grabbed our friend Dwarf over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, think about it. What if they have been preparing for this for a while, right? What if this has been the ulterior motive, right? So, what if we have just awakened a beehive? And we
Or
are,
what
Well-
if you,
and what if we actually do not have much time?
or what if you
Well-
caught them with their pants down because they weren't expecting it, and we only have so much time to prepare?
Well, both are legitimate because, well, we do not actually have information because we have no one to interrogate.
I mean, wait, couldn't we still like? Well, we're gonna like try and speak to the dead with that corpse.
Can anyone do that here?
Donovan's like, the only person I know who might do that is Bethany, and I don't know why she did or didn't do that already.
Have you guys?
I mean, she may not have had the spell prepared today.
Have you
Tomorrow?
have you guys spoke with Bethany?
That's the doctor who was just here.
Have you guys spoken with her about it? Maybe she just
Well-
didn't think of it.
I mean, I assume that she was getting
Well-
prepared to go with Dad, so all of her spells were geared towards that. I know she used one use of Speak with Dad with Dad's corpse, but that didn't work out. He was already moved on to whatever was afterwards.
Yeah, Sophie just looks at the group because she doesn't know. She wasn't there.
And we were a bit distracted, mostly by trying to, resurrect our friend.
All right, so we should probably go to her, tell her about that, get information, and then when we have more information, we should maybe really hurry.
I would like to just add in that I don't like the cold.
Donovan speaks up, says, the only reason I suggest the Ice Elves is they're the only already fortified military group I know.
Oh, see, another reason to go there.
But with that also comes that they're incredibly paranoid and tend to shoot on sight. So it would be approached cautiously.
Well, if we did go to the dwarves first, they may be able to help fortify the city faster.
But would the dwarves help?
See, that's the
Depends.
question. That's the problem. We may be dwarves, and Matteo may be a wild elf, but that doesn't guarantee that our people are going to just suddenly mobilize an army for us.
Exactly.
Well, given the fact that it's allegedly our rival's city, our rival. What's the name of it? What's the word of it? I can't remember the word exactly.
It's hard to pronounce. I have it
Yeah.
somewhere here. Give me a second. I cannot pronounce it though. So I'm just
Moin something.
Yeah, give me a second. I will attempt to pronounce
On
it.
Fiores Nor.
Even after hearing you, I cannot pronounce it.
That place.
That place,
Ah.
the place with the weird pronunciation. I have it here. I can copy paste it if you want to.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. I had it here. There it is. There it is. This is the place. I cannot pronounce it. I'm sorry.
On Fiornes
Let's just call them the Hobdwarves, because they are working with hobgoblins, so they are now the Hobdwarves.
You know what? Yes, I like that. Let's call them the Hobdwarves.
Well, given the fact the Hobdwarves allegedly control that place, a place that our dwarven mine seems to be rivaled with and such, being told that they are controlled and they are planning to fight, we could always hold that over them.
All right, so
Bragging rights would be great.
all right, so we are gonna go to your homeland, and we are gonna tell whoever is in control there that these dwarves are about to invade literally everyone, and you will totally get them to help us. See? Amazing.
It's
And-
possible, though I feel it would only add to their factors too, right? But I, again, don't think it'd be enough reason for them to immediately mobilize an army for us. I think we need a bit more than what we got.
Well, like I was saying,
'Cause
they may
otherwise
not
we'll be going off of
mobilize.
word of mouth.
They may not mobilize an army, but they may, with say a letter from Donovan, send enough support to help reinforce the city.
See,
Well, of course.
that is what the dwarves are good about. You know, they're good at when trouble comes to fill all the holes and just pretend that nothing is happening.
I mean, I was going to send you with letters of introduction to each of those locations since we have allies there in each place.
Yes.
So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the dwarves can help reinforce this place, which
Is there
would
any
help.
way we can? Is there any way we can sort of like gather the evidence that we have in some sort of images that we can provide?
Image.
Again, exactly. That's why I didn't say pictures. That's why I didn't say pictures.
All
'Cause,
right,
I mean,
all
there's
right,
magic.
all right. We need to
ways
get
these
painters.
images.
We need to get like 10 painters and paint the bodies and everything.
Well,
Well,
given the
again,
fact
'cause-
that, given the fact
because
that
we
we'd be
don't
going
know if we
with-
can convince them just by word alone. So we may need to gather together some forms of proof to
Donovan
give our words merit.
literally just said that he's gonna give us an official letter asking for help about this. I'm pretty sure Donovan is
so-
gonna put it down that it is super serious and that there is proof.
So I'm pretty sure his reputation would carry the proof that's needed.
I hope so. Because we all know dwarves can be pretty bullheaded.
You are a dwarf.
They are also easy to mobilize against goblins and hobgoblins.
Yeah. If we say that it's dirty hobgoblins, I'm sorry, Steve, then all we have to do is to just tell them this, and they will just go into drunken rage and help us.
Yeah, as
And
you say,
again-
he'll like raise a hand, and then he'll just lower it and be like, "Yeah, that is true. They do have a very, very, very strong hatred of goblinoids.
And again, if we tell them
I will
That's-
give you that one."
if we tell them that that place I am not trying to pronounce is controlled by hobgoblins, we can make fun of them forever.
I mean,
What's even Donovan thinking at this point in this conversation? I'm so
he's just been
sorry.
he's just been kind of staring, waiting for you guys to come to a decision because he needs to figure out where he needs to mobilize forces. He needs to figure out who needs to go where on his end. If he needs to send messengers himself, if you guys aren't going to go do that. If he needs to send a scout group himself.
Okay, so Sabine is gonna point at Steve and say, "Steve, what do you think?"
I thought I was trading. I didn't know I was here.
All right, so potentially big war, a lot of bloodshed, hundreds of dead people. We need to get allies. Need to build up defenses. What do you think?
So you had done the shopping earlier, and when you got done, you came to Donovan's office and into that conversation as he was describing the locations to go to.
Okay. Well, we can just.
So
go
you're here
into
for this
trying to get
discussion, correct?
allies. I wasn't arguing against it. I just said I was hoping we had more evidence, but we can try.
Or we could do the easiest thing and just go to Maffei's tribe and try to get help there. I mean,
Well, yes, that's what I was saying.
Maffeo,
I would like you guys to see my home. It'd be nice. Just show you.
Maffeo, I have a very important question.
What?
How reasonable are your people?
Do you need
That's a
me to step in here?
Yeah, how reasonable would they be with this?
Yes.
Well, the wild elves can be as reasonable as any civilized person. You stepped on our land, we shoot you now.
Okay, so we just tell them that the hobgoblins will come and burn the trees. It's fucking 12 logic.
Matteo, you also remember that you have a good reputation because of your connection with Balto. with the
Yeah.
wild elves. You're kind of
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah.
How well is like Donovan's group known in Wild Elf Lands?
I mean, there's some people who know well of him.
So
I mean, are you asking him, or are you just saying this in general? Because in general, you don't know squat.
it's the same.
Yeah, you guys have you guys would barely have any knowledge of wild elves.
Matteo could roll a knowledge local to see if he's heard anything about that.
But perhaps if we're gonna go for
Matteo, how
allies,
I would not be able to roll that. That's not a class skill of mine.
Then I want you to roll an intelligence roll to see if you remember hearing any rumors.
Oh, what's my intelligence modifier? Oof.
if we're
This
gonna
is-
go for allies, we should also hit the various allies along the way instead of going straight to one and possibly skipping past others and having to double back.
Ah, yes, that actually makes sense. We should probably, if possible, we should probably go to the closest one and then just hit them all, essentially.
Well-
Exactly. Work our way out.
The
Oh,
problem
that's
with
a
that
I
is-
keep forgetting to add that fucking +1 luckstone thing.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
So the wise woman, right?
Yes.
She
Grandma.
she had a daughter who went out and traveled as well, who went out venturing and exploring, and she told stories of this half dragon she traveled with. And the wise woman has spoken fondly of the half dragon who's come to visit some of those times. Usually times when you weren't in the village at the when he came to visit.
I would Yep, that would be why she would not recognize Donovan.
And you always felt bad about missing out on meeting the half dragon.
Yeah.
And his
So that
songs
was her connection to the outside.
and
would've
his
been her-
songs that he would bring to the village.
Turns out Donovan was a bard.
So what do you think?
It's been established that Donovan is a bard.
Oh right.
So, what do you think, Maffeo? How easy would it be to speak to your tribe?
Well, knowing that Donovan here has visited quite often, though unfortunately I was always absent during his visits. And the wise woman of my village's daughter traveled with him. I'm pretty sure it'd be quite easy to convince him.
Alright, so we have an easy one, and then we have a somewhat potentially difficult one based on how well we play it. So, what the ice elves are gonna be a problem. So, what about the giants?
So the giants are the same distance from you guys right now as the caldera is. They're just in a completely different direction.
Do we know anything about them?
That some hundreds of years ago they attacked a village down south and were repelled because of two adventurers or two warriors down there.
Okay, I have a knowledge history as a class skill. Can I roll on that?
Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
That's where we got this broken sword from, right?
Yes, that's pretty good. So they have had a rocky history with raiding and attacking, but a couple hundred years ago they made peace with the dragons and agreed to not. They're also one of the reasons why the bandit army wasn't successful is because they came and broke up the army from behind.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily good or nice people, but they are friendly enough to the dragons.
Okay, so based on the distance from where we are right now, what is the sequence of the closest places to each other? Like away from here and then to each other.
So the caldera, like where you would go and talk to the people about seeing if they will go and help in the caldera proper, is the same distance as the giants. The giants are to the east, and the caldera is south.
Okay.
And then from the caldera, after you speak with the city and see about any organization, you're probably thinking the dwarves are a bit closer, then the wild elves, and then the ice elves.
Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm
I
writing
mean,
this down.
so you have to realize the ice elves are very south of the caldera, the dwarves are to the west, and the wild elves are to the east. So it's kind of your pick on which direction you want to go and how you want to deal with them at that point.
It may be on.
So what do you guys think?
I was gonna say we could like kind of work it in a circle. Start with the giants in the south, then work to the dwarves in the east, and then to the elves.
That may be unwise, given the fact that Donovan, do you only plan to send only us to deliver these messages, or
I
do you
mean,
plan to just?
if you want to hit up all of them, so you know who's being recruited, then I'll leave that to you. If you don't want to, let's say, if you want to go to the caldera, I can send someone to the giants.
Yes, that actually sounds rather useful, because if you were to send someone to deal with the giants, we could deal with the rest of everyone in kind of like a four-hit punch out.
What
You
about
know,
the time constraints?
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. If we were to go to the giants as well, who are literally opposite of Caldera, then it would take much more longer.
Yes, but it's. What I'm saying is, wouldn't it be faster for Donovan to send a group straight to any of the ones we don't go to, compared to us having to curve around to go to multiple ones?
Well, also the more people Donovan sends, the less people will be here to defend in case of an attack.
True.
Tom says if you were going to go explore the mines, I would send one group to the giants, and I'd send a larger group down south to figure out how to communicate the rest of them.
Yeah, so what I think we should do, and this is just me obviously, so if anyone has a better idea, what we should do is ask Donovan to send messengers to the giants, and hopefully nothing terrible is gonna happen to them. And then we are gonna go to Caldera. We are gonna deal with that. Then we are gonna go to the dwarves. We are gonna deal with that. With the wild elves, we are gonna deal with that. All of three of these are gonna be easy. And then we are gonna finish that with the ice elves to the south.
Sabine,
So perhaps we should leave the last two for his messengers, and we can take on the first three ourselves.
But the first three
Well-
are pretty close to each other.
well,
Well,
remember,
yes, but who knows how long it'll take just to get their support in the first place. It could be easy and just a small conversation, or it could take convincing.
remember though, Sabine also, you said you wanted to do some business with someone
Oh
in the
yeah, yeah.
Ice Elf
Yes.
region.
Oh yes, yes, yes. The individual who, if he dies, everything that we are doing right now is pointless, because if he dies, we are all dead.
Dobin's like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, so okay. She turns towards Donovan and says, "This individual, so he is, well, this part of him is a brother of, the individual who is floating around my head right now, right? And because of something that happened in the past, he got split up into three parts, right? You still with me, Donovan?
Okay. So far.
Alright, so because he has been split into three parts, his body is here, his soul is where I was sitting on a bench and drinking tepashi, and when I was dead. And his mind is either lost or hidden somewhere, or we have to make it again. Now, the problem is, if his body dies for any reason, he will explode. And he will take good chunk of everything around here with him.
I'm sorry. And why would that happen if he explodes?
She scratches the back of her head. Oh, how to explain this?
You do know the actual name for what he is, if you remember.
I'm going to. Okay, so is the correct thing that he is essentially a walking ley line well?
An arcane well.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so yeah, she just says, well, his body is kind of an arcane well.
And let me roll something really quick for him.
Oh, bleh. He gets plus 23, guys.
To his knowledge arcana.
Oh my god.
You see, like, it's almost really weird to describe as a half brass dragon's. The color of their scales seems to pale. And he goes, "Oh,
Yes, and
oh."
he's really ancient. He has essentially been split up ever since the old empire that Maffeo is from in tribes right now. So he has been there when that old empire kind of vanished. So he's so he's incredibly ancient. And because of that, he also, if he explodes, it is gonna be incredibly destructive.
So that's Dad's old drinking buddy he could never outdrink.
That scares me even more now.
Oh, yeah. So that's what he is. I mean, Dad's always talked about him, or whenever he talked about him, was vague and indistinct and veiled in mystery. But that would make a lot of sense.
See, I'm not very cryptic. At least I'm attempting to.
Yeah. He would. You should ask if he could assist too, because that could be a powerful ally.
Well, the problem is, like I said, he is potentially unstable, and because if something was to happen to him, everything we are doing here, right? My entire family, all of you, in this room, everyone in Oasis, everywhere here, we are gone. This entire area ceases to exist.
That would definitely be bad.
Yes, that is pretty high on the list of bad things bears.
Well, I mean, he's been surviving for countless times, so I'm sure he's pretty good at surviving.
Well, if his soul told me this and told me that it is very dangerous right now, then his soul probably has a good reason to think of that, don't you think?
Well, his soul didn't. So, little out of character here. His soul didn't tell you about the explosion. That's what you were able to glean from talking with him before.
Oh, okay.
He never told you that he was dangerous or that he would explode. He actually very intentionally did not talk about any of that.
Okay, so Sabine actually just believes that herself because she just knows.
Yeah.
But she's still gonna say that way.
That's fine. I'm just making sure there's a clear understanding for you. But so it's like, well, at least definitely get in contact with him, see if there's any support he can give.
Yes.
I know I've met him once when he came out here, and again, I was very young and he was very strange.
Yes, strange is one word I would use for it. So this is kind of why I think we should go south as well. She just looks at her party.
I
Hello?
still think we should potentially talk to the dwarves and then the wild elves and then go south.
What about Caldera?
Well, Caldera first.
Those are all south.
Yeah, all of the south, mate.
Oh, yeah, but like I said, the order of closest to first.
Which... Okay, Striker, the order I wrote in chat, how legit is that?
That's actually fairly accurate.
Yes. Aha, the paper works! I've been drawing this shit!
Alright, I'm okay with that.
Oh, Matteo, what's your thoughts on all the truth information about that one druid you met.
I'm sorry, Maffeo, I kinda destroyed your entire life.
Matteo?
Maffeo?
I'm trying to process it into thoughts for Matteo.
Yep, so Sapi just looks at Steve. By the way, Steve, how are you? How do you feel?
Well, I feel like I've definitely entered the conversation at quite an interesting time, my friends.
Yes. You wanted an interesting journey? Well, we have an interesting journey.
Wait, he wasn't here when we resurrected Sapine.
No, he was dealing with buying and selling stuff in case you guys needed extra money for reviving Sapine.
You know, it's not the first time Steve has seen people be revived, so he's going with it.
I would also
So-
I like to mention that when Sapi was talking about this, she was kind of sounded like a crazy person.
Yeah, that came through
Yeah,
clear.
but Steve sounds like a crazy person to you guys most of the time anyway, so...
It's true. And no one's told Steve how much it was to resurrect Sapine yet either.
Is he gonna ask?
I don't know.
Would he think of asking? Probably, actually, now that I think about it.
I mean, he'd probably pass... He'd pass the group amount of gold that he's collected over to the group.
Oh yeah, we are probably gonna have to deal with that as well. Oh my god, that's a lot of fucking money.
It's just a
Why?
smidgen amount.
Why don't we put it in the chest?
You know what?
Group gold in case of resurrection.
Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna put all of the money in one place so that when it gets stolen we are poor?
That's not a good idea.
Or at least
Anyone
a
have
fraction of party treasure in case of resurrection needs.
Well, I mean, and I'm saying this in character, we could invest in a bank here.
What bank?
They must have a bank here somewhere. There's loads of money. There's no way they just keep it all in, like, safes or something.
Treble. Donovan literally just pulled all of this money out of a safe.
Actually, out of a box, as he puts a hand on a box.
Alright, so so he has more money in the safe under the table.
Well, actually, it's a connection to my dad's old hoard. But, you have to be
You're lagging.
told
DM.
what you
You
want.
like.
DM, you're lagging.
That fixes it.
I hope that fixes it. Removes
Is that better?
himself. Yes, I think so.
Okay, good. I must have walked between a wall or something and it got screwy.
Okay.
Right. He says, the box itself has a connection to my dad's hoard, which is now my hoard now. That's something to think about. And you have to have special permissions to pull anything out of it.
Do you guys have any sort of bank system for anyone who's not connected to a hoard?
He just kind of looks at you. You understand how banks work, right?
You put money in it to keep it safe?
No, that's what a safe is for. Banks use money to buy and sell things that the bank needs and invest it to try and make money.
So where do people without hoards put their money?
In the pillow.
Usually in a safe. You have to realize we're not big enough to justify having a bank, so we haven't set up a bank.
Yeah, and I did get the best possible lock for the chest too, so like it'd
Well,
take a very,
Best
very good thief
possible
to break into it.
non-magical lock.
Yes, true, true.
I mean, what if they just break the chest?
Oh, they take the chest.
The chest, like a Doswer is going to need me to cast Ant Hall on him just to carry it.
Well,
It's a pretty massive chest.
well, you see, Chrome. The problem with that is, what if it is a giant?
I mean, even a giant would still struggle to carry such a huge chest.
What if they use magic?
What if it is a single dwarf?
Okay, even I couldn't carry the. I could barely carry the chest empty. Any dwarf like that has over 1,000 max carry capacity
Cool.
is not a dwarf.
Chrome, you should know better than me that the dwarves are essentially humanoid ants.
Well, yes, we can move with a lot of weight on our backs, but we still can't move like past our maximum.
What's a maximum?
Well, for me right now, with 1 second.
Chrome, what are you doing? I just asked you, what are you talking about maximums? And now you're going into your backpack and you're trying to find something. Are you okay, Chrome?
I'm talking out of character.
What do you mean out of character?
This is a lead character.
Seppi just looks at Tribal, at Maffeo, and see if, guys, did something happen to Chrome? Is Chrome okay?
I don't know. Both of you have been acting weirdly.
I
But
died.
what I think he means is like,
I'm not
Yes,
going to
yes.
justify any of this with a response.
Why? Why, Chrome? What have we done to you?
I think he just means like how much weight he can like get it around. I mean, every dwarf tries to test himself eventually, find that limit. For me, it was around 300-ish pounds. I couldn't really go much further. It was just way too strenuous.
Well, I know I cannot carry very much. What about you, Steve?
I've never been the strongest of a. Well, goblins aren't exactly the strongest, but I've never really been that strong of a goblin either. I mean, what I'm carrying on me.
It's mostly
you know,
money.
I love how you guys are trying to justify carrying capacity in character.
Yes, that's why I was trying to go
being
out of character,
meta.
but they wouldn't let me.
We are reaching levels of meta I didn't think I'd see in a while.
You need to have me as a player more often, Striker.
Yes, I agree.
What if they push the chest? I mean, it's easier to push something than to carry it.
That is very true, yes.
And that would leave tracks for us to easily follow.
But what if they clean the tracks? What if they push it and then there's gonna be one dwarf who's gonna be just
Okay, we're
behind
just
them
starting-
and just cleaning it?
We're starting to get to the levels of what if that are just ridiculous.
What if
And
they
at
load
this
it onto a
moment-
cart?
And at this moment, the door slams open. As a very happy-looking half-dragon human comes in going, "Hey, dickbag, I was successful!" You see David walking in with a piece of sword in his hands.
Sapin waves at him.
"Oh, you have company. Sorry about that. I found it, and the rest of the gear underneath that obelisk, but I found the piece of sword I was looking for."
Oh, are you talking about the obelisk with the where there was the prophecy and there was a sword inside the obelisk?
Well, I don't know about any prophecy, but I had a story about how those two, humans saved that village.
Yes, we've been there.
Yeah, it was buried in sand. I had to unbury it. That was a pain.
Anyway, hello.
Hi. So, found it. I was gonna go start working on fixing this for whoever goes to the Giants, and working on gear for people. Just want to let you know. Found it. Told you. I win the bet. Domin's like, yeah, whatever. Trying to deal with all this nonsense right now, if you don't mind. As he kind of gestures to all of you.
Travel steps forward. So basically, if we also go visit the giant, we can borrow that sword.
No, I mean, this is going to be a gift to whoever's their current chieftain to try and see if they're willing to go and help us. So, I don't know. You can ask them if you're going there.
Yeah, but we got Carrington at, so
Well,
like
and
I
I
said,
also
that,
have to fix it.
Wait. I thought we have already decided that we are not going to be going to the Giants.
no, just hear me out. So basically, if we go to the Giants, they'll be the last place we go because of their distance.
But
So until then, we can potentially borrow / use that powerful sword in the meantime.
Treble.
Yes,
I'm
Pete?
pretty sure I'm the only one who can equip
Don't
it.
make this more
Even-
complicated than it needs to be.
Treble.
So, David-
Treble. If we go to the Giants, and then we go back to Caldera, after we are done with the Ice Owls, we might be returning to a burning heap in the Oasis.
So David kind of looks at Donovan like, "Is this guy freaking serious? Is he really that dumb?" And Donovan just has his face in his hands. Donovan takes a deep breath and says, "If you guys go down to the Caldera, I am sending someone else to the Giants with the sword, the completed giant-sized sword."
I
Okay.
believe it would be best for us to go back to the Caldera, meet with Enderhall there at the city, and figure out what they're doing down there at the city, while you send someone to the Giants, Donovan.
Sabine just turns to Steve, and with both of her hands outstretched, she says, "Thank you."
Is that your guys' final decision on what you're going and doing?
Well, since we'll be going to the Caldera, I could ride ahead to my village and talk to them.
There will be no splitting of the party.
Or we could do the thing I said at the very beginning, and we could just all go to one place.
That's an even
No.
worse idea, my friends.
I mean, by splitting up, we can cover more ground.
By splitting up, we most likely get ourselves killed.
Isn't it?
I mean, I already died.
So have
Isn't
I,
it-
and that doesn't mean that it's pleasant.
Isn't it mainly Steve's choice, given he's the one who is contracted with the ship?
Well, the ship takes you to the Caldera. It doesn't take you to the city.
Once we're in the Caldera, we should go to the city first. We should at least, even if you guys decide not to stick together, we should at least meet with Anderhall first to figure out what's been going on in the city.
I mean, he does owe us money.
He does.
Yes, he does owe us money.
It'd be good to see Beardy again.
So perhaps we should spend the rest of the day here on the Oasis.
What do we want to do with the adamantium?
I presume since we are going to be going to the dwarves, someone there could probably smelt it into something for Crom.
David's ears twitch and he goes, "Adamantium?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, we literally already discussed that this guy can work it out of character.
I'm sorry. Would you like to elaborate on that? I've been looking
Well,
for a new
we
source of
went-
adamantine.
Oh yeah,
Well,
we
we
got
went
some ore.
We found a big
Yes, we
box.
went to an old dwarven mine, and which was the same place we found the hobgoblins and lost Superior, and in the process we also found a large box of adamantine ore.
Do you have it with you?
It's currently on the skiff.
He starts biting his lips and says, with his very sharp teeth, he goes, "Okay. You bring that to my workshop, and we'll work out some sort of deal."
Well,
Oh,
I've got a pretty good dwarven blacksmith friend in the Caldera. I'm pretty sure he'd give us a good deal.
Well, I'm here. I can work it, and I have plenty of magical tools to do so.
But
I'm
can you
just going to
compete with
gently
a
bop
dwarven
Trabal in the head. Crom's going to gently bop Trabal in the head. Let's not make things more complicated than necessary. We have a nice man here who is willing to work it for us. Let's just go with it instead of going here, there, and everywhere in between to work out something this simple.
Alright, guys. So this is what we are gonna do. You guys are gonna talk to what's her name again?
David.
Alright, so you guys are gonna talk to David about getting yourselves some kind of spiffed gear. And what we are gonna do is we are gonna spend the day here, we're gonna spend the night here, and then next day we are gonna go to Caldera, we are gonna go to the city, we're gonna get their help, then we are gonna go to the dwarves, we are gonna go to the elves, and then we are gonna go south and make sure that a man does not explode.
Agreed. It's a plan.
So, are you all agreeing with this?
Aye.
What about you?
Donovan,
What about you, Steve?
Steve will nod his head, yeah.
Maffeo?
Sure.
Do you have anything to say, Maffeo?
No,
Every opinion is important.
no, that's a fine plan.
Okay, what about you, Treble?
I'm good with it.
Alright, so this is gonna be the plan. And you are never ever again gonna put me in a leadership position, otherwise I will actually get a heart attack.
so Donovan does clear his voice before David walks out and says, "Oh, David, by the way, I agreed that do we work out some sort of preferable deal for them all to get a dragon-based weapon."
And some sort of dragon-based upgrade for my shield here, or an entirely new shield.
Well, I said you'd work that out with him. I promised you dragon-based weapons.
True. My apology. Anywho, Crom's actually going to trail behind David. If you would like, we could actually go get the box of ore together now, because it is quite heavy.
He's like, all right. Lead the way, dwarf
And
man.
Crom will do so. Now that everybody
Excellent.
already has the plan set.
All right. So one more time, who's going where? Go ahead and type who you're going with. Donovan says, and you guys will have the executive suite again because, well, honestly, you've done a lot more for us than anyone who's used the suite before.
I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend.
Matteo and Steve, where are you guys going?
I have no idea.
So are you going to go with
I-
Dave and help deal with the ore, or are you going to wander with Sapine?
Or something else.
Alright, Matteo, it's all up to you now.
Well,
Random
sounds like
one.
we're about to get in a big battle. She should probably get. What's my armor? The fuck is my armor? Probably should get better armor other than studded leather armor.
You didn't get any of the mithril chain? That'd be definitely a lot better than just studded chain or studded leather.
Remember, he is a dexterity-based character.
And the mithril chain is light armor.
Well, doesn't
Hell,
matter.
my breastplate is light armor.
Wait, the breastplate is light armor?
Yes, this
Mithril
mithril
makes it
plus
one size category lighter.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
and the breastplate is considered medium, but since it's mithril, that makes it light.
Holy shit.
Yep.
And it's got a total of 9 AC.
You know, that's
That's the
actually kind
equivalent of
of
light full plate.
I kind of hate how good it is.
That's why I swapped it out immediately, because the full plate was giving me so many, like, negatives to, like, anything movement-based. Although the tower shield is, like, 3 times the full plate's negatives, though. So that's why I really want to get the equivalent of a tower shield, but with a lot less negatives, preferably. Because right now, anything dexterity-based gets a -10 just because of this tower shield.
Also, Maffeo, so what are you doing?
Should probably look for a shop to buy armor.
Well, that would be going with Dave because he's their armorer.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah, I guess she's going with Shabal and Crom.
Unless you're wanting to buy just some random off-the-shelf, whatever they have in stock, Dave would make you custom.
She'll probably want custom. It's enchanted and something that's built specifically for her.
What about some adamantium armor?
He wants it lighter, not heavier.
It
Yeah.
says light armor on the wiki.
And
could be
David
wrong.
did mention earlier that he had some mithril in stock, so he could make a fairly good light armor.
So yeah, Theo's going with Crom, Shabal, and David.
Alright, so we're going to deal with those 3 first, since they're together. And then we'll see what random adventures the other 2 come across. Actually, if you guys don't mind, since Steve joined us late, let's go ahead and do his random nonsense.
Agreed.
I don't mind. Sounds good.
Alright, I need Steve to roll me a D100.
Meanwhile, I'll go use the restroom.
Same, actually.
Alrighty. Alright, let's take a look here. What sort of... is this gonna be? I'm okay. Well, can I have you roll me one more D100, please?
The duality of Tatsu.
Okay. Well, how likely is this? I need to roll one more here. So, are you paying close attention to what you're doing while you're wandering around?
Most likely.
Okay. Roll me a perception, please, then.
Where's my perception? Dirt average.
So you're wandering around, just kind of looking, checking people. When the sheen of someone's garb catches your eye, it's that higher quality clothing that you're used to seeing in bigger areas. Definitely farther away. Roll me an appraise check.
Not a D100. Another 11.
That's good. So, well, you recognize the brand. It's definitely a high quality cloth, and I put quotes around cloth, because it definitely shines and shimmers, not like any cloth should. And it moves with a bit more weight than normal cloth.
So it looks like a trach thing.
Yeah, and it looks like it's worn by a catfolk. And as you're looking and you notice that the catfolk kind of has something's up with his skin. It almost looks like he's got scales in parts of his or not skin but fur. Intermixed in his fur.
Hmm.
And he doesn't look like a young. He's definitely not a young catfolk either, but he's not necessarily old. It's kind of hard to tell his age. And he's just kind of smiling as he's kind of looking around, looking at things.
Hmm. Well, he doesn't want to just go right up to the man and be like and talk to him, but he wants to kind of, I guess, make it obvious that he is, paying attention to the man.
So this individual is carrying himself with an air of someone who knows that they're on display, that people are going to be looking at him. So he's carrying himself like you might see a model carrying himself.
Okay.
It's quite obvious he's aware of what he's wearing.
Hmm.
And
we have an Aiden.
we have an Eowyn.
Hello, Aiden.
Hello, I've missed so fucking much.
Just a smidgen.
Yes.
Just a little bit. Oh, add 1,000 platinum to your currency.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Oh, everyone got 1,000 platinum.
Oh yes, everyone got 1,000
Okay.
platinum. Everyone got a bag of 1,000 platinum.
Okay, I'd thrown that over to the group money on accident.
Did we all get a cut of what was sold?
Yeah, well, so we hadn't cut that up. We essentially just put that in party treasure for right now.
Fair.
Mhm.
Do you guys need the group chest link again?
So, Steve, are you just kind of still following this guy, or are you trying to get his attention?
I feel like he tried to get his attention. He's not doing he's not doing the normal goblin thing of just running up and slapping the man. He's doing the more the high class kind of, I guess, swagger over, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Maybe. Am I describing this wrong?
Well, let me see how well. So after a little bit, you tell that he does look in your direction. He smiles, and he says something to someone that he was chatting with, and then he starts making his way towards you. And then he look, for lack of a better term, because he's a tall catfolk, looks down at you, kind of gives us a bow, and says, "Well, it's good to see a fellow clothing enthusiast. What can I do for you?"
Ah, my friend, I happen to notice the fantastic garments there you're wearing.
He kind of gives an even wider grin and says, "Oh, you noticed, did you? This old thing?"
Ah, over my years, I've come into contact with many a Drake Industries' finest gear, but every time I see a new one, it always seems to impress me.
New? I've had this for years.
Ah, but it's new to me, which makes it new.
I mean, I guess that's fair. It's never really been in his line of usual clothing. Hi, Rage.
Hi, Rage.
Hello, Rage.
Everyone says hi.
Hello.
Hey, Rage.
So yeah, he kind of gives you a very toothy grin and just kind of smiles. Steve, would you roll me a knowledge local, please?
A knowledge local. What's my local?
So
My
while you're
local's
doing that,
not
it says,
great.
so what brings you here to the desert oasis, my little goblin friend?
Well, there's always many adventures out here in the oasis. The family has been very pleasant to me. Although with the current situation, it seems that I must depart soon.
Yeah, I did hear that there was some unpleasantness. I came to see an old friend that, or at least see an old friend off. He says, but you know, life is as it is. I couldn't always see every friend as they pass. I just figured he'd outlive me.
Father was an interesting fellow for the night that I had met him.
Oh yes, he gave me quite a bit of advice for some of my entrepreneurial, exploits.
Even though I only met him for the night, he did give me a few tips on my own, well, fair to say, escapades.
I mean, I helped get his oldest son clothing for his wedding.
I always knew Donovan had an eye for the fine wear.
Oh no, not Donovan. His oldest son.
Oh.
Donovan is from his second clutch.
Hmm.
His first clutch were all wanderers, and they never wanted to settle down. I believe Victor was his name.
Father never mentioned him to me.
Yeah, he was the only one who stayed here, but he didn't want to have anything to do with the running of the place. He just came and helped out occasionally. His first clutch was we're a bit of misfits, you could say. It's not that he wasn't proud of them. It's just, they didn't do a lot that they told him about. I heard Vic went north to go check on something.
North, you say?
Yeah, it's something about dragons or something or another. But, no, I was also coming to visit my cousin down in the caldera. I haven't been home in a long time. He still has a very toothy grin.
It's gonna, you could see, he can clearly see, Steve's doing, like, the work in his head, and then it clicks. He's like, oh! He gives kind of a bow.
Says, oh, finally caught on, I see.
With my old age, it takes me way too long these days. I used to be much sharper in my years.
He smiles and holds out his hand and says, Trake, of Trake Industries. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Steve, of Steve's Trading Consortium, as he, gives his hand out.
I thought that name. I've seen that here or there on some paperwork.
It's usually a much smaller thing out from the old lands of Iffy.
Well, so this is where your trading company is.
Well, I've taken a small break, so let's say, away from my own trading company at the moment.
Oh?
I came out looking for at least one more adventure before I finally settle down.
He nods. Yes, it's always nice having that one last adventure, that one last hurrah. I left the wife back in Absalom to take care of the main shop while I came and visited a friend for a funeral.
Hmm.
Well, if you ever have the need, he pulls out a what is essentially a business card and hands it to you and says, "If you ever find yourself in the need of good clothing, go ahead and give me a heads up. I think I'll give you a deal."
I did have a good friend of mine I do owe a nice, fine top hat for, though we can worry about that at a less interesting time.
Yeah, well, we sell all sorts of things, and I can usually get you what you need. I mean, I can't give you too much of a discount, but I'll do what I can. I was gonna go check on my cousin to see if he's finally sold that item he borrowed from me.
Oh, the dress? Well, it was still there the last I knew of, though I've been away from the city a few days. Well, you know how the trade winds can turn in only a few days.
Oh yes, it's unfortunate to hear it's been there a few years, but I'm also not surprised. There was not much call for my craft here in or down this far. Why I moved away.
She's gonna give a nod to that.
Okay. By the way, here is the type of cat that Drake is. Let me pull this up. So that's kind of how his facial bits look, or his cat-like bits.
Hmm.
Says, but yes, I'd be more than happy to do something. Are you traveling alone right now?
No, I'm with a small group at the current moment.
Oh, you don't say. Well, go ahead and hit me up sometime before you leave. Maybe I can get some measurements and have things planned out.
I plan on leaving in the morning, unfortunately, from the sound of it.
Well, like I said, I'll be here a little bit, and then I'm going down back to the caldera. So,
That was where we had planned on going in the morning, was to back
Oh.
down to the city.
Interesting.
Maybe I
Well,
will
perhaps
see you there.
yes, perhaps I'll run into you there, or see you later tonight. I'll probably be mostly at the bar, seeing if I can, smooth some more business up.
I might just pass by the bar later tonight then.
Says, from my reputation, you were said to have always had a hat. What happened to it?
Oh, my own hat has passed on with the ages, unfortunately.
That is mighty unfortunate. He rubs his chin. It was a top hat, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Of a sort.
He reaches into he opens up his cloak, kind of reaches into a pocket, and then pulls out a strip of fabric and flicks it, and it turns into a small size top hat. He says, "Will this do?"
Ah, fantastic, my good friend.
Well, we entrepreneurs should always look our best whenever possible.
I
Yes.
Hmm?
Well, I missed what you said there.
Oh no, I just went like
Oh.
Thank you, kind of.
Well, again, don't be a stranger, and if you ever need to get a hold of me, the card should help you do that.
I'll try my best not to abuse its power, as per se.
Oh, I'm sure you'll figure out how to use it.
I'm gonna give him another deep bow.
He gives a nod and holds out his hand to shake yours.
I will shake his hand as best as my ability.
Yeah, your hand kind of, is engulfed by his, and you can tell that he's got a really strong grip that he's holding back, just to not crush your hand. And then he makes his way towards the bar.
I will continue on my adventures, as per se.
So I that first D100 I had you roll.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna compare it to a D100 I rolled, just for how rare of a occurrence this is. I ended up rolling exactly 14 as well. And you the second one was to figure out what category of NPC who would show up.
And because I rolled high, I got 8.
And then I rolled the compare to determine the exact one. And very looky there, you met Trake of Trake Industries.
Out of everyone I could meet, it was probably the best one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was a little bit dumbfounded there if you hadn't noticed my silence after your roll. That was me coming to terms with the fact that you met one of the rarest NPCs to meet.
Sometimes you do just have to find the fellow businessman.
Yup. Rightio then. So, anything else you want to do?
No, not particularly.
Okay. Who wants to go next then?
Sabina's been talking a lot Deal with the David group.
Okay. So, you were going to go on a different random, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Will you roll me a D100?
Wait, what?
Well, you said you were going to go randomly wander around, right?
Yeah, but you should probably deal with Chrome, Matheo, and Trouble before Sabine. Literally just...
Okay.
You would agree to it!
You're not wrong, sorry. Yes, okay, so let's go with them. And I think Aoden is probably with Matheo with that group then.
It's either that or he's been staring at a wall drooling for the past couple of hours.
Just a loading circle over his head.
Alright, so do you want me to catch you up really quick?
If you can give me the 2-minute version.
Sure. So the dragon or the hobgoblin corpse, they pulled out his heart and it was blue, which means that he was very close to being a full, or at least more draconic than not. The doctor suspects that if more of them are like that, then they have a problem. Izumi said that with how much time has gone by, if the hobgoblins were able to keep propagating the way they have been, then there's anywhere between 500 and 2,500 hobgoblins in their armed forces, depending on how well organized it is. The Oasis itself only has 200 combat-worthy individuals. So they're wanting allies. You are all given the option of either staying and helping fortify, go explore the mine or the caves that you guys were at that Sapine died in, or to go contact allies. You were given where you'd either contact giants to the east, or go south and contact all the different forces in the Caldera, which include the Caldera people themselves, the Wild Elves, the Dwarves, and the group that hadn't been talked of much, the Ice Elves on the Frozen Wall. the group more or less decided, hey, we're going to go down there since most of us want to go down there anyway. Sabine mentioned that she knows an individual down there that if he dies, he explodes and it causes lots of damage. So that's why she wants to go there, make sure he doesn't go and explode and die. We've decided to stay together. And you were all paid 10,000 gold for coming back with information, although it was in the form of 1,000 platinum. And right now, some of the group is going to go talk with David, the weaponsmith here, to get gear and negotiate a deal with the adamantine you guys got from the mine.
So, thank you.
So you are traveling with Matteo, Crom, and Treble to go talk with David about collecting the enchanted adamantine and get some gear.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. Character sheet. Got that.
I mean, that's a pretty close to the good clip notes version of what happened.
Sweet.
I like
I mean,
the giants in the eat part.
E.
At least they're not in the West.
Okay. We are accidentally luring Oreo here. Oreo, we are speaking the language of your people.
All right, so you guys are going to with David, probably to the skiff where the adamantine is. Is that right? Crom? You were kind of spearheading this.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here.
So we're headed to the skiff to get the adamantine. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, how much adamantine did you guys have again?
Okay, sorry, my brother came in to talk about
pounds.
rides. Yeah, we have 75 pounds of adamantium in the box.
Alrighty then.
Sorry, I really wasn't expecting people to come bother me as much as they were today.
Well, I'm sorry for existing, man.
Not you!
Ah.
All right.
Ma. Ma.
That's Rage, who's on break and just making noises in my lap.
Lewd.
I
I'm
wish.
gonna say.
But
I wish it was lewd.
but where is the face? On the lap.
I mean, her face is right in my crotch, but she's also like half asleep.
I mean, you don't need her to be. Okay, I am sorry. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
change the
considering
subject.
all three of my kids are also in this room. Yeah. So at any rate, you guys take him. Camden is there on the ship. He made you guys up as you're going.
Hello, my dear. We've decided that we're gonna stay for the night tonight, and we're going to move out tomorrow. We've got a long list of places that we're going to be visiting.
I need to step away for a moment to get some food for Rage.
Okay, that's
Aha!
fine.
That means I have been unleashed. So how are you guys?
Pretty good.
So
Nothing
Pretty
to
good.
complain about.
So what did I miss with Steve's thing?
Just I met Drake himself. Yeah, and nothing important really.
Yeah, no biggie.
Oh
Nope.
shit, that's badass.
I only rolled and apparently hit the one-off, if not the hardest NPC to run into.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge you, but I don't know. I would not be very hard if I were to look at Steve.
What?
You said you've met the hardest NPC.
I get it.
God damn it. I'm sorry. So, Maffeo, what are you doing?
Following Crom and Chabal.
No, I mean, like, in real life.
Looking at Facebook, petting a cat.
Ooh,
Ah,
you should pet the cat.
Man, he's always touching that pussy.
That's literally like a me level joke. You can do better, man.
I guess you also missed the fact that Drake had a favorable impression and offered him a discount on something of his.
yeah.
Did you buy it? I mean, you literally have million money.
Well, I'm plan on meeting him later today and probably converse with him. Because Steve does need some armor of his own. He also still owes a friend of his another top hat.
Oh, lower back is killing.
Just,
Oh, sorry guys.
just rip out the back.
I wish I could rip it out. Alright.
I mean, who needs spine?
I mean, obviously not the courier.
Good point. See? Fallout New Vegas taught us that we don't need spines. Spines are only holding us back.
Spines are useless.
Yes.
We should all be spineless. Alright, so you guys are going to be haggling for some adamantine. So I believe you guys were coming up to the ship, and Camden waved you guys down and greeted you guys.
Yes,
Right.
and I turned to Camden and I basically told him that we're going to be staying here for the day, and we're going to be we're going to be moving out tomorrow, and we have a long list of various places we're going to be visiting.
Well,
Well, that sounds like quite the journey. I believe you still have me for another 3 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we do have the funds that we may actually end up, well, renting you out for longer.
Well, we'll discuss that when we get to that point.
Sounds good to me, my friend. Anywho, we're just here to pick up some of our belongings. And then he will whistle for a Doswer real quick.
Well, Dosser's is there with him on the deck.
Alright, well, once they gather up the adamantine, he'll load it mostly up onto a Doswer, so that way they're not having to strain carrying it. And without the weight of all that equipment inside of the... Well, actually, no, it's just the weight of the box, so yeah, he can carry it. So
I'm sorry,
with that,
one more
I guess...
time? Sorry, Rage was
basically,
talking to me.
once we gather up the box, Crom will load it up onto a Doswer, and then he'll turn to David and say, "Alright, let's head back to your place."
He says just a moment and pulls up. You guys left it in a crate, right? Or did you put it in the storage box?
Well, we put the crate in the storage, but now we took the crate out of the storage.
Okay. Well, he's like, well, let me take a look. I want to make sure this is actually something I want before we drag it all the way to my shop.
Oh, alright. Well, I guess he'll set the box down in front of David then.
David opens it up, looks at it, pulls out a chunk of it. Just a moment. He is going to try and hide his reaction. So you all can roll sense motive after I roll this.
Okay. Can we roll it even if it isn't a classical?
Well, you could crit, so.
Oh wow. Phone, can you not ignore me, please? Thank you.
Mateo, you want to roll a sense motive as well, since you're with them?
Mateo? Mateo?
I'm sorry, what?
You want to roll a sense motive?
No. What is that?
Maffeo,
So-
are you okay?
Yeah. I don't have that as a class skill. I can't.
It's not it's not one that requires to be a class skill.
Oh.
That's why I said roll it. It's just a wisdom check at that point.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So he kind of overlooks it and says, "Yeah, I can take this off your hands. That shouldn't be any problem." So let's go ahead and take this to my workshop. And he grabs the sides of the crate and he just lifts it and puts it on his shoulder.
Are
Yeah,
you sure you don't just want a dosword here to carry it?
No, I got it.
Alright.
And he starts leading the way to his workshop.
Alrighty. And Crom is following right behind.
Out in as well.
Right. And yeah, it only takes a few minutes to get to his workshop. And he puts the crate down long enough to open up his gate and walks in and leaves it open for you guys to follow behind.
Crom will step inside.
All right. And he takes it to his kind of around back to where where you see a smokestack where he obviously has his forge. He says, "All right, so this is obviously quite heavy."
Yes, which is why I was offering to have a dosword carry it for you.
Well, I mean, I'm not worried about that. It's just that there's a lot of it. And this is actually
Yes.
really good quality adamantine.
Oh, believe me, I know.
He actually pulls out a piece, takes it to his mouth, and tries to bite it. A tooth sinks in, but he doesn't bite a chunk off, and pulls out like, "Yep, that's definitely some enriched adamantine."
I think Auden is staring at this point.
And so do you actually know how much this is actually worth?
I believe I rolled well enough to know that.
So it usually things made of this cost a little bit more on the base price because it's easier for casters to enchant them, and it costs less to enchant them because it already has the enrichment from natural magic.
Awesome.
He said there was 75. I'm just making sure I'm getting the cost for this about right. It says, so I could probably give you, kind of looks at the box, puts a hand on it, 20,000 for the ore itself.
And could I roll like an appraise myself to basically determine if that's a good deal?
Yeah, you can roll appraisal.
I shall do that as well. I am a dwarf.
Haha. I just can't get anything over a 10 this session.
What's my face?
Oh, except for that one crit. Which was literally just a normal appraisal.
So, Treble, you think he's being overly generous with this?
That's mighty kind of you.
Crumb, you're
Yes.
fairly certain this is about right. He might be undercutting it, but if he is, it's not by much.
Alright. I suppose he'll kind of tap his chin and say, yeah, that does sound pretty fair, and we will be getting some of the equipment made from this, correct?
I mean, you can either have it made from that, or he looks over and realizes, oh, good, they did bring it in, and you see that there is a massive pile of bones and scales in the on one side of the room.
Well, I suppose we can see what you make overnight, and we can compare for ourselves to see which one we wish for more. How does that sound?
It seems fair. Do all of you know what you're wanting specifically?
Well, for me, as far as the weapon goes, just water axe, preferably. And I need to get an equivalent upgrade to my tower shield here. Something preferably a lot lighter that doesn't, make me have to lug this thing around.
It says, I could probably make something out of mithril, make it lighter, just as sturdy.
Awesome. And yes, a dwarf just said awesome.
And you were wanting a war axe as well, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Note that here. All right, and who's next? All right, so who wants what next? As he now pulls out some a paper and board and starts writing on it.
Well, to be honest, I don't really need anything. I just came along because I like the sound of smithing.
He's like,
Well,
so
reminds
you're
me of
not
home.
wanting anything.
Money.
Well, I'm not going to give you money because you were offered something.
Hmm.
You can take what's offered or not.
Chrome, do you want to choose a second thing?
Well, what weapon do you use?
Rocks.
Rocks. You have a very skilled man here who is more than happy to make you a very nice weapon, and you plan to continue using rocks as your
Well,
weapon.
maybe I should get something just in case something gets too close.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
David kind of his eyebrows. No. You can just if you don't want anything, that's fine. Spit in the face of a master smith who's been told to offer you something for free.
How about a spear?
A spear.
Or, well, I don't know. I don't use weapons. What do you recommend I use? Rom?
Well, do you have any sorts of training at all?
I'm decent at simplistic weapons, none of those fancy stuff.
Hmm. As someone with a military background, could I figure out what sort of simplistic weapons can be crafted?
Well, he's, any sort of simple weapons. If he wants a spear is feasible. It's a two-handed weapon. There's a quarterstaff, long spear, boar spear,
And
morning
can't I
star.
teach martial weapon skills as well?
There's a feat for that.
Okay, so I have to have a feat to teach it. Okay, well, I already have a long list of feats that I need to take, so unfortunately that's off the table.
Well, no, there's a feat for him to take to be proficient with martial weapons.
Oh, I got that. Well, yeah, but is there any way I can teach him specific weapons to be able to just use them without
No,
negatives? Damn.
that's
Okay,
that's what the feats are for.
gotcha. All right. Well, then in that case, I guess
How
yeah.
about,
If a spear counts as a simple weapon, then yeah, a spear.
I'll just take a heavy mace. How's that?
Heavy mace. He's like, all right, I can do that. All right, and he looks over at Matteo and says, "And I'm guessing a bow for the elf lady."
Yeah, that would be nice. I just got this shock bow, but if you have something that you think I should use that would fit me best, I will be happy to take a new bow.
Well,
I
from what
was
I
also
understand, there's a chance you
Hmm.
guys are going to be fighting hobgoblins that are with blue dragon blood, and well, blue dragons are resistant to electricity. So I don't know
They
about
also
you.
seem proficient with it as well.
Well, yes, that's part of the whole dragon thing. I'm just saying that having a bow that deals electricity damage may not be the best against foes that are resistant to electricity.
That is
And
true.
it may be in our best interest to get some sort of electric resistant equipment.
I mean, I can probably look into that as well.
Perfect.
But yeah, I can definitely make you a bow, and I'll definitely have some arrows along with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that way the arrows could be used with either bow. All right, and for our human companion here, he looks over at Eodin.
Odin is looking around, saying, "I've never been much of a one for weapons. I'm more of a magic user. I could use a heavy mace or a morning star, or a bit of armor if you could make me a breastplate that's more, protective than this." And he knocks on his current breastplate.
It's like, oh, I could do that. If you would prefer armor over weapon, I could definitely get something there. Let me just take some measurements for you here, and that's just me speak for coming and taking a look at your character sheet.
Well, you already have the link, right?
Yep, I already got it up.
This is a normal breastplate, so if he can make one that's better than this in some way, Odin would take that. If not, then a heavy mace or a morning star.
He goes, so I've got two options for you if you want a new breastplate.
Shoot.
I can either make it out of adamantine or I can make it out of mithril.
What would be the difference? I'm not a metallurgist or a smith by any stretch.
Adamantine is resistant to attacks. Mithril is lighter and more flexible, but still has all the durability of steel. They both still have the same durability. Adamantine will just reduce the damage that you will take.
I think that one would win me over a bit more. I think I can handle the weight at least.
No, it shouldn't weigh any more. It's just durable.
Mechanically, what would be the difference?
So, adamantine on medium provides a damage reduction of 2/-. So whenever you're attacked with a weapon, you reduce the damage you take by 2 from that weapon.
Cool. And mithril would be lighter and have a higher max dex.
Max dex and lower armor check penalty. And if you cast arcane spells, you'd also that doesn't matter, but arcane spells also have reduced arcane spell failure.
Actually, he's going to go for the mithril because if I remember right, that would also let me use my full speed instead of the breastplate's normal 20 speed, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Correct, actually. Since medium reduces your speed, if it was mithril, it would be considered light.
Yeah, I think he'll go. As much as I would like the damage reduction, I think that the mithril is what he will go for.
He goes, all right, mithril breastplate, we can do that.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. And it would also reduce the weight of it by half as well.
Sweet. I'll go and update this, but
I will send you more exact information here in a little bit. Most of these things that you guys will get will probably be given to you after session. Because honestly, I don't think you guys are going to be getting into anything where you'll need these here in the Oasis unless you really want to cause a barroom brawl.
not planning on it.
A ballroom blitz, so to say.
He says, all right, well, I've got some information. I know you've got some other companions. If you want to send them over here to get weapons or if they need items or armor, I don't want to be told that I didn't do my job and get people stuff that they were promised.
Sounds quite alright. I will make sure that they're sent over. How much would a weapon cost if you have any ready, as it were?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for.
A heavy mace or a morning star?
He kind of goes, I mean, I've got some. Are you wanting one that's enchanted or not?
He thinks about the 10,000 gold that he has in his pocket. How much would an enchanted one cost?
Well, I've got a few options here. I've got one that's just, basically enchanted, just makes it more difficult to hit, or easier to hit, and that's 2,000. And let me double check the price for regular mace. I think it's only like 2 or 10 gold.
Mace is 12.
Heavy mace 12, so it'd be 2,012 gold.
Actually, if you want to take care of this outside of the thing, because I don't want to hold up the scene, we can.
Sure, yeah, but he has several options, and we can do that after.
Cool. Yeah, he'll haggle over it a little bit and leave with or without a weapon. We'll decide that later.
He may also suggest waiting until he makes a Dragonbone one, so it'll have the effects of Flaming and Dragonbane.
I like that idea.
Because it costs it's less expensive to make those with Dragonbone. Because those enchantments are actually half the price to enchant.
Delightful. He will probably wait for that.
Yeah. If you guys were after a little bit of haggling, that would be his suggestion because, well, he also wants to, make sure that those get used, and he doesn't want his dad's remains just sitting in his workshop.
Yeah, he'll definitely go for using a dad's thigh bone as a club.
All right. And so you guys spend 10, 20, 30, maybe an hour haggling, talking about prices on things, selling things. What do you guys want to do afterwards?
Well, afterwards, Crumb would probably head to the suite to basically prepare to retire.
Okay.
Treble will head to the suite as well, and when he gets there, he'll start reading his book for the
All
evening.
right. So mark which day this is for you for reading, or how many hours.
Yeah, I'll need you to tell me how many hours I end up getting once I stop.
Matteo, Eodin, are you gonna go to the suite, or are you gonna go do something else?
Alden will look to Matteo, see if he wants to head somewhere.
I think we can go back to the suite. I don't really have any other places I want to go. I'm getting a new bow.
That's exciting. I might be getting a new mace, which would be delightful. But I think Alden will want to stop by the shop that they had previously purchased their magic items at, depending on how. Though that's something else that I will take care of outside of the session, because it'll depend on how much gold I have left over after buying a dragon bone flaming mace.
All right. So it looks like we got 4 people waiting there. Sapine.
Sabino is ready.
Then roll me a D100, if you will.
Sabino rolls D100.
Right. 80.
Babies.
So as you're going through, roll me one more D100.
Oof. Oof.
Okay. So you come across a bunch of kids playing in a kind of in a courtyard where they're a couple of them are playing with a ball, probably with some sort of hoop. You know, there's only like 3 or 4 of them doing that. A couple of them are playing with, on some like think like advanced jungle gym stuff.
Okay.
You know, this is stuff that you'd think that could be fun and also really dangerous if they fell because they're 15 feet up or 5 meters up.
Yeah, but these children are they like visibly half dragon?
Well, not half dragon, but they visibly have brass skin,
Okay, so
or a couple of them have horns, or any number of things.
so essentially what you are telling me is if they fall, it's the ground that hurts.
Well, they'll get hurt, but it's not going to be as bad as like if you fell from those.
Your child wishes your attention.
He wants the next movie. There we go. But so yeah, and you see like young kids that you would swear these kids need supervision to, maybe young teenagers.
All right.
And that's just the courtyard you pass.
Yep.
I'm guessing you're gonna keep wandering on from there.
Yeah, she's just walking.
And now one more D100.
All right. Sabine is not a very child person.
That's fair.
What's with the guys? Look at these rolls. If this is gonna be rolls for Stalingrad, I'm not sure whether you guys should be scared or not.
The answer is yes. And roll me another D100.
God damn it. I'm finding something normal.
Okay. This time you see so a lot of the half dragons you've seen have been either very muscled or very prominent. this is the person, you know, you can swear they're half dragon, but their half dragon nature seems more muted than the rest of them. And they're just kind of sitting and reading a book in a park.
So what is can Sabine read what is the book called?
Do you read Draconic?
I actually believe she does. Give me a second. No, she doesn't. Nope, she can read. She can read it.
Yeah, it's written in some sort of weird scratch, or at least it looks like it's got weird scratch writing on the cover.
All right. So, is there anything else interesting about this individual?
You know, they look well read. They look somewhat fancy. They seem to be sipping some sort of tea from a traveler's cup.
Okay. And then Chrome became Car. Yeah, Sabine just like looks at the book. She doesn't really look at him that much. She looks at the book and then she just keeps walking.
Well, already.
I'm sorry, neither of these are very interesting to her.
It's just the interactions that have come up. And
Alright.
one more D100.
Oh my god. Guys, this is gonna be the rest of my life. Wait, okay, wait, Chrome, please. Can you please explain to me what the fuck is happening where you live when there's lawnmowers literally flying into your window?
I said going by, not flying into.
Oh.
Right, roll me another D100.
Sorry, Chrome. Oh no, she's about to get shanked.
No. Although, you do run into... Who is this one? A gnome. Another gnome.
No way.
Yeah. Seems like he's running rather quickly when he bumps into you.
Oh, he bumps into her.
Yeah, he's not looking where he's going. He's running and he bumps into you.
Okay, so does she fall or something?
Roll me a reflex. And a perception.
Okay, so first things first, reflex is here. What?
You fall on your butt.
God damn it, it's the butt again. And perception. Okay. Oh god, I almost rolled 1,000 instead of 20. She sees.
Let's see here. All right. So he bumps into you. You fall, and he turns and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and he tries to help pick you up. And as he tries to go help pick you up, you notice his hand is starting to reach for your coin purse.
Yep, she is gonna smack his hand and say, "Oh, such a basic trick."
Oh, I'm so sorry. You just seem like one of the regular schmucks here.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, someone who's just here for vacation. But you know what? I'm sorry. That's my bad. My apologies.
Yep, she gets up, she does herself, up, and then she says, "Well, I happen to know to look like a half dragoness, and I also probably do not look very rich."
Well, again, I'm sorry. And he kind of smiles and says, I'll just leave you alone. Roll me a sense motive.
Mm-hmm. Oh fuck, my sense motive is so bad though. She's gonna touch herself before she does this.
So,
Depressing.
He smiles, and you notice that he's shoving something into his pocket as he starts running away. Roll me one more perception check.
Uh-huh.
You know your little stone friend who floats around your head?
Yes.
She's not floating around your head right now.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Peter's gonna point at him and cast Fireball.
I will mention there are people around in the street right now. You are not alone.
Okay, so would she hurt anyone with this?
Definitely.
Damn it!
Definitely you would hurt people and cause a fire.
Well, the fire is, it's just a detail. God damn it.
What spells do you have?
Yeah, I'm going through them. I'm looking for something that would work.
I mean, you do have one thing that would work because it's not as big of an explosive. But I'll let you think of that. Oh wait, except for can you cast? Oh wait, you can't cast that level yet. Never mind. That's not gonna work.
Alright, so yeah, as he is running, she is gonna yell out, "Thief!" and then point at him. And give me a second.
Roll me diplomacy to catch people's attention.
Give me a second. Her diplomacy is actually okay-ish.
You're just trying to get people's attention, so it doesn't have to be a spectacular roll.
Okay, there it is.
So you yell thief, and you point, and a half-dragon, who was kind of just up against the stall and not immediately noticeable, turns his head, looks at you, looks at where you're pointing, and then as the gnome starts running past him, he attempts to pick up the gnome.
Does he succeed?
Yes. The gnome runs by and he yoinks and grabs the gnome by the back of his clothes and he goes, hey, let me down. Hey, I'm walking here. And the half-dragon just quietly starts walking towards you.
Yep, she just walks towards him, smiling.
And he looks at you and says, you said he stole from you?
Yes, thank you, kind sir.
He looks over at him and says, did you steal from her? He goes, no, I didn't. She's lying. Whatever she says, it's bald-faced lie. I've been here for years. Nothing. I've done nothing wrong.
Uh-huh.
He is attempting a bluff. And this guy gets a sense motive. And he goes, drop the act, give her stuff. And he, kind of balls in. And he goes, miss. He brings the gnome really close. And then you can tell deep down in his chest, he roars, drop it. And he intimidates. That's an impressive intimidate.
Yeah, that's he's spooky. He's spook.
I want you to roll me a will save to see if you're intimidated by this. You don't have to be that number. It's a different number that you're beating. You're like being the offshoot of this since you're not the direct target.
I mean, her will is good, but that's a very scary dude. Oh!
Nope, you don't give a fuck. You could see this coming a mile away, and so you're fine with whatever happens to this.
I guess he wasn't that scary.
So the gnome goes like, okay, fine, here. And he reaches into a pocket and pulls out the gem. It's like, I just trying to get, something to get out of here. Please, just don't eat me.
Yep, Sapin just takes the gem, puts it around her head, And then she is gonna look at the gem and say, sorry, Amalif, that you had to deal with that.
Oh, no problem. I just didn't want to start talking and he gets scared and throw me on the ground and possibly break me.
Yes, that is definitely a good idea. Now, thank you, Mr. She looks at the dragon. Sort of dragon.
Barrett.
What's his name?
Barrett.
Oh, name Sabine.
And he is like jacked. He is massive. He is big, and he just doesn't like to talk a whole lot. But yeah, he is. He was like, I'm going to take him to the authorities.
Yes. That would be perfect. Thank you.
And he nods and says, but I no, don't take me, no. As the gnome, just kind of calls and whines and is trying to struggle out of the grip, but he obviously can't get out.
Yep. And as they're walking away, she's just gonna yell, "Maybe next time, don't be an asshole."
You get some chuckles from people around who saw the whole kerfuffle.
Yep. She just turns around and just starts walking away. And again, she looks to Amalif and says, "Well, the Barrett guy, he did kind of save his life and probably the lives of everyone around because I was about to go ballistic on him."
One of the stall owners actually yells, "Hey, miss, over here."
Yep. She just looks. Who is this person?
It looks like a dragon-blooded, stall owner.
She just shrugs and just goes.
And she looks like she's got a whole assortment of baked goods, sweets, and whatnot. Says, "Sorry about that. I'm glad my uncle was able to help you out there."
Oh, Barrett is your uncle?
Well, I'm sure he is somewhere. I've got a lot of aunts and uncles here.
Actually, that kind of makes sense considering what I know of you guys. But yes, he helped me out.
Yeah, I believe Barrett's from the third clutch, so I'm not sure where that puts him.
She looks at around the baked goods. What kind of baked goods are we talking about?
So these are more like sweets based.
Yes, I actually do have written down like her favorite foods and such, so in case you hate it.
That could be useful, but there are a lot of like different like jelly breads. There's sweet breads. There's donuts. There's cakes. There's cookies. A lot of the kind of sweets that you'd see that would be baked are here.
So, what kind of cakes are we talking about?
Well, they have full size cakes to little individually made cakes that are just a smaller version of the full size.
Yeah, she. Okay, so these smaller cakes. What kind of cakes are we talking about?
Well, there's a strawberry. Almost looks like a miniature strawberry shortcake. There's a miniature chocolate, a vanilla, and then some sort of fruit-laden cake as well.
She's gonna take the strawberry shortcake. So yeah, she's gonna look at it, and then she's gonna look at the half dragon and say, "So, how much for those?"
She looks at it and says, "For you, you can take one for free."
Oh, I would not be able to accept that.
She says, "Oh, it's fine. You just went through an ordeal where someone tried to steal from you. It's my treat."
Are you sure about that? I mean, they look delicious.
Well, I'm sure they are delicious. Just come back if you want more.
She looks at the shortcake. She says, I do like strawberries."
She kind of leans and says, "Strawberries are my favorite too."
Oh, I know, right?
My favorite thing to make, I don't make that often just because it's a little bit more work, is a strawberry infused chocolate cake.
She's just looking at her, like actual stars in her eyes.
The chocolate cake, the cake itself has strawberry flavor, and it's got a strawberry filling, like jelly filling. She smiles and says, "If you want, I could make you one of those."
She nods.
Okay, it'll be about 30, 40 minutes, and I'll have to make a batch of them. But If you want, I could probably sell you the whole batch for 15 gold.
She takes 15 gold, and she puts them right next to the shortcake.
She picks it up and says, "All right, if you want to come back in about 45 minutes, I'll have it all boxed up and ready for you to go."
Oh, I will definitely.
She smiles and says, "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, ma'am."
Yes. I will recommend you to my friends.
She says, she looks up and says, "Well, it's Kelly's Bakery."
She nods. I will write it down. Once my notes open. Okay. Okay, side quest. Carrie's Bakery. Get cake for group.
She nods and puts out a sign that says, "I'm baking, call for assistance." And she heads towards the back.
Yeah. And Sabine just takes the free shortcake and just starts walking away while very slowly enjoying the shortcake.
It's delicious, by the way.
Oh my fucking god.
The cake is nice and fluffy, and the strawberries are fresh and delicious and juicy.
You know what? Yeah, she's just gonna find a spot somewhere. You know, somewhere nicer. Hopefully in the shade. And she's just gonna start eating it.
Well, the next nice shaded area is back at that park with that one half dragon who was sitting down reading.
Yeah, she's just gonna go there. She's just gonna find like a bench or like a small, short wall or something, or like I don't know, like a piece of wood, anything really. And she's just gonna sit down and just go. Nom, 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 nom.
Well, there are several benches underneath trees that you can go and do that at.
Yep, and she does.
All right, and it won't take you long to eat that, but yummy and delicious.
Yeah, it would only take like I don't know 5 minutes. She's taking it very slow, and as she's eating, she starts thinking about like what happened, about her, just almost getting robbed right after getting killed. What an interesting experience. What a weird life she has.
Even in these peaceful places, there are people wanting to rip you off and steal from you.
Yeah. She just thinks to herself, it was a really good thing that she was stopped. Otherwise, she would probably become a murderer. And then she finishes the shortcake.
All right.
How far away is she from that one shop that she got the cloak from?
The shop you got the cloak from. So where the park is, that little alley or the main road or the road you were on that had the bakery is kind of like on the at the end of that road, and on the other side of that road, closer towards the middle of town, is where the shop is.
Oh, okay. So she could literally just like walk there, and she would still have enough time to go back to. Okay, so she's just gonna go to the shop.
Yeah, it's probably like a 5-minute walk if you walk all the way there.
Yeah. So, how many people are in the shop?
There's just a couple of people who are obviously tourists, kind of looking at things.
Okay, so
Looks like there's a different worker behind the desk right now.
Oh no. Well, she's gonna enter anyway.
And the shop worker smiles, and it's a he, and he waves at you and says, "Welcome. How can I help you?"
Ah, hello there. I am looking for certain magical goods.
Well, we can definitely assist you with magical goods.
Ooh, I sure hope so. She's just gonna walk up there and say, I would want a headband of alluring charisma.
Okay. Which variant are you looking for?
She looks a little confused and says, the magical one?
He smiles and says, "Well, there's a lesser A regular and a greater variant.
Oh, probably do regular. Based on the price, obviously.
No problem. Let's see here. Headband of Alluring Charisma. Alright, so the regular is going to be 16,000 gold.
16,000 gold. Mm-hmm. $16,000. Alright, so she is gonna roll to try to barter that.
Alright.
Okay. She's also gonna touch her sword before she speaks.
Lewd.
God damn it! Ooh!
That's good. Let's take a look here.
Oh wait,
at
give me a
that.
second. I do have this. Is this... Give me a second, I need to look it up. Because I may have a thingy here. Oh no, that's for bluff. Okay. Okay, nothing. Let's continue.
2, 3. Right. And you're looking to get a discount on this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They stop. They think. They kind of review some notes that they have behind. You know, kind of says, "Just a moment while I look for something here."
Oh, take as much time as possible.
And he kind of looks there and says, "All right, I could probably knock off 800 gold off of that price.
Okay, so what's the price now?
15,200.
Yep, and 15,200, right?
Yes.
So that's 10,000. 15,200. So yeah, and she is gonna put that amount in platinum.
She goes over and says, "Oh, okay." So she just kind of, you see really quick hand movements as she like quickly counts out all the, or he quickly counts out all the coins, and it's like you almost don't see his fingers moving as he's moving coins into little columns.
Give me a second. I need to check something. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll just do the calculation. I'll be back. Man, I think I'm losing my mind.
Me too.
Like, I thought that there was someone in the kitchen.
With Dinah.
Sorry, what?
Old songs. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah.
No, but
Working on the rail.
but yeah,
Oh,
no, but
oh my god.
no, but seriously, like I was like I did like I swear I saw a shadow in the kitchen. I was like, wait a minute,
Maybe it's just a ghost.
maybe I'm just losing my fucking mind. Anyway, let's continue. Speaking of losing my mind, so she puts down the money in platinum
No.
with a smile.
He quickly counts it out. It does take a couple minutes, but he quickly goes through all the coins and counts them out and puts them in piles, nods and pushes them into a box and says, "Well," and hands you the headband. Says, "There you go."
All right. So what should I write down?
Headband of Alluring Charisma +4,
There we go.
and it will increase your charisma by 4. And after 24 hours, that bonus is considered permanent while you're wearing the headband
Mm-hmm.
for things like spells and whatnot.
Yep, and yep, she still with a smile. She just nods her head and says, "Thank you."
And she smiles back and says, "No, thank you. You have a wonderful day."
Yep, and yep, with a wave, she just walks out and puts it on her head.
All right.
So yeah, I'm just gonna put +4 to my charisma, right?
Yep. And that's your total, not your modifier.
Oh, okay. Oh, that I'm trying to figure out how the fuck does this work, and it is like this. There we go.
All right. So, and are you going to be heading back to the suite after that?
Well, before she goes back to the suite, I presume this whole counting the money and the exchange, took a while, right?
Well, only a few minutes. He was, like I said, his fingers were going so fast that it was almost hard to see them
Yeah,
as
thankfully,
he was going through them.
yeah, thankfully she actually had that prepared as well. And yep, she's just gonna just take a short walk to the park. Just trying to calm down from everything. Just trying to clear her head. Probably talking to Amalif every now and then.
It's like, so, that was kind of scary, being grabbed and almost stolen.
Yeah, I would like to apologize. We should take better care of you.
Well, we were both kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. She just nods to it and says, hopefully next time there's gonna be less people so that I can actually smite him in flames.
Maybe. Well, I would probably start with magic missile and incapacitate him.
Yeah, but why go for the less damaging option if you can just end him?
Well, I guess that's your prerogative. I've just never been much one for violence.
See, I am not into violence. It would be in self-defense. It's his fault that he would pick a fight with someone that, let's just say, is rather dangerous in self-defense.
Also, if someone does take me, I would rather not have my vessel be destroyed by a spell gone awry.
She stops, puts a hand to her chin and says, "You know what? I didn't think of that."
Yeah, well, that's fair. Not everyone thinks about their items.
Well, you're not really an item. You are yourself. You're more important than that.
Well, yes, but others don't see me that way.
I do.
Well, yes, you do, and that's one of the main reasons why I like you.
Oh.
Because you still see me as the person I used to be. Was maybe me.
Well, I kind of see you as a person that you are right now.
Well, I don't even know who that is right now.
Well, that is you, right now, in this gem.
But am I really a person without, the rest of me?
I would say so, yes.
Well, that's good to know.
I mean, my mom always told me that the rabbit that was talking when I was a kid was not real. But he was real. He just left when I grew up.
Huh. Well, at any rate, I am excited to at least have a different vessel that can try food at some point. You keep saying you want to put me in something.
Yes, that is extremely high on my priority list. I mean, I've already told you about my priority list, and yes, you are like number 2.
Yay.
Number 1 right now is to make sure that your brother doesn't explode the world.
Yeah, if what you say is true, that I would really like that.
Yes, I mean, one, it will probably break you. Two, it will probably break me. And three, it will probably break Balto.
And Balto is a good dog.
She nods. He sure is. I wonder.
So-
I wonder if there's people around who just like probably look at Sabine in confusion or something.
You actually picked a park that doesn't have a lot of people in it.
Good.
But about this time is when it's getting close to when your pastry should be done.
All right. Yeah. So considering she knows the exact time, she is just gonna go.
And as you arrive, the baker is coming up and putting a sign down and sees you, says, "Oh, hello there."
Ah, hello there.
And she reaches behind her and pulls out a box.
I presume I know exactly what that is.
These are for you.
Thank you. She's just gonna pull out both of her hands.
All right, and she hands you a box.
She takes the box. She is the box like openable, or is it like, you know?
Yeah, it's got a lid. It can be opened.
Yeah. She opens it, looks at it.
There are 8 small cakes inside.
Amazing.
They are a chocolate cake with a chocolate icing over the top of it, and little strawberry slices on the middle of each one on top.
Yeah, she's gonna put the lid back on, and she's gonna look at this individual with a smile and say, "Thank you. They look amazing."
Well, I do hope they taste amazing as well.
Well, if it's anything like the shortcake I just ate, I know I need to fear nothing.
Well, do tell your friends about it.
Oh, I will make sure. I'm actually gonna be going there right now.
Well, fantastic. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yep, and with the cakes, she goes to the suits. Sorry, to the soutés.
The sweets.
The soutés.
You're going to the suite with the sweets. All right, and I think this is probably when Steve is probably arriving at the suite as well after his interaction. Steve?
Yep.
So you run into Sapine as you're headed back to the suites,
Oh.
and she's carrying a box.
Ah, my good friend Sapine, you seem to have picked up a rather fine-looking box there, my friends.
Ah, yes.
You do recognize that it's usually a box used for confectionaries.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. I got a little something on the way.
Ah, fantastic.
She's standing in front of the gate, looking at Steve. Standing,
Both hands holding a box.
both hands holding a box, with a gem floating around her head.
I realize I still have the key to the executive suite.
That is such a Steve thing.
That is part of why he told you that you guys still had the suites.
You know, he meant to give it back.
Yep.
It just-
Sapine just eyes the gate.
I feel like it's gonna take Steve a second to realize that he still has the key, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, my dear friend, the reason he probably gave us the suite back is because I did have an oopsie, and I kind of may have kept the key as he kind of pulls the key out of his backpack.
Wouldn't that mean the rest of the group's standing outside the gate then?
Holy shit, it does, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh no!
So the rest of the group gets to the gate, realizes that it's locked, and this is when you see Steve and Sapine walk up.
Were we supposed to get keys at the front desk?
Sabine just like points at Steve with her face and says, "Steve has it."
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
I
Convenient.
will use the key on the gate.
The key opens the gate.
I will open the gate for everyone.
Steve like throws the key at the gate. Somehow that opens the gate.
Crom will
I
step
mean-
inside.
Yeah, Sabine is gonna go last because she is carrying something.
Can I roll perception to tell what she's carrying?
Oh, it's hidden.
It's a box.
It's a box, man.
Yeah, it's a box.
It's a box.
I don't know what more you want. It's a box.
No, it's actually a child in a box.
It's a box of donuts.
What you got there, Sabine?
Oh, just a little something I got on the way.
I
Open up
raise
the
an
box. Open up the box to show. Turns out it's actually a mimic with disguise.
I raise one of my bushy eyebrows. What's in the box?
You will see soon enough.
Ominous.
I know.
But okay. And with that, I just head in.
Okay, yeah. So Sapin goes last. Who else is here?
Well, everyone's here.
I'm here.
Is Arden here?
Yep.
Is Maffeo here?
Yeah, I'm the one that brought up the fact that everyone was in front of the freaking gate.
Okay, so yeah. So like I said, Sapin is gonna go last. Everyone probably goes as well.
Yes.
Tired, are you?
Yeah.
Not me.
It's starting to get to me again.
Oh no.
Is he
All
ever
right.
not tired?
Is this going to be a good place for us to call it a game for today, so we can get ready for Stallingrad?
Well, first let's get inside.
Okay. Everybody gets inside? I hope. I suppose. Maybe. Possibly.
Yep. Crom steps inside.
Mhm.
Yep.
Trebalo.
Yeah, I entered before you.
Okay, Maffeo. Does that be funny to like turn Maffeo's name into? Because it's already funny.
What?
I mean, I always think of Mayo.
Good.
I should not-
I mean, something tells me that Maffeo probably has a lot of mayo on her when Auden is done.
Or at least in her.
Ha ha ha. There's gonna be some half elves from this. So yeah, Sapin is just, gonna walk into the main room, and I remember there being kind of like a sort of living room, right?
Kitchen pavilion.
Yeah, there was like chairs and such.
Yep.
Around like a table, I think.
Actually, it was around a fireplace.
Okay, so
But there was a table near there.
okay, so she is gonna put the box on the table.
There's a box on the table.
She's gonna very slowly, creepily turn towards the rest of the group.
She has announced that she is now going to kill all of you and eat you. Congratulations.
Sabine has been the bad guy all along. It makes complete sense.
No.
Anyway, so Sabine is gonna put her hands together, and she's gonna say, "Alright, so since everyone is here, I have a little announcement."
Announcement,
Oh.
announcement.
You're pregnant.
Well, no, I would actually expect that from you, Maffeo.
Howden goes red.
So, I know that our relationship here has not been going very well over the past, basically our entire, how we know each other. So, I was thinking that since I kinda died, I could try to turn over a new leaf.
What do you mean?
And as a sacrifice to this ritual, to this blood ritual, I have brought an offering.
Blood ritual?
Yes, the blood ritual.
Well, I admit I'm curious. I don't. I'm curious and vaguely afraid.
Yes, I have slain the beast, and I have brought its intestines here.
Odin's just kind of looking around to see how everyone else is reacting to this.
Yes, Sabine is waiting for reactions as well.
Rebel's eyebrows just slowly rise.
How big are your eyebrows?
I don't know. They just keep getting bigger in my
Your
mind.
fucking eyebrows have been raising for like this entire session.
It's gonna be like one of those cartoon characters where it's like above my head.
It's gonna be like the dude from Tekken.
Little did you know that the eyebrows were the real person all along.
Yeah, she's gonna open the box. There's eyebrows.
Oh no.
So yeah, noticing that no one is reacting in any good way, she just sighs and opens the box, revealing the cake. Or cakes.
I don't think that's an intestine. And Odin just starts to crack up laughing.
Well, it has to be intestines of something.
I would like to see the creature that these are intestines for.
Oh, she could have rolled engineering, so she could like be like, oh yeah, is there like a chocolate monster?
I think Odin is going to approach and kneel next to Sabine and pull her into a hug.
Ah!
Oh, be quiet. We like you.
Mateo shall join in on the hug.
Oh god.
And I'm betting Balto would too.
Sabine is totally getting her face slobbered on by Balto.
Oh no.
Also,
Rebel
licks
joins in
ever
the hug
living
and
crap out
attempts
of
to
you.
lift the two of you.
I mean, you are a dwarf, so obviously you can.
You want me to roll strength?
I don't know, ask the DM.
It's the end.
Sure.
Fucking Chrome walks into that, picks up everyone. With Balto, everyone. The fucking house. The fucking oasis.
I don't. He's not that strong.
Weak.
A Dosser
Yeah,
with an ant
no.
hole could probably pick everyone up.
You ain't listening to shit.
I just get my back.
Damn close. But yeah, no, you're not lifting anything.
Alright, so
With my back, just like I was too much.
you are very weak for a dwarf.
Well, you're very strong for a gnome.
Ah!
Squeeze. Willy, release.
Can you give me a hand yet, Chrome?
Oh, I suppose.
Rolls one.
Oh!
One more time.
Psychic.
I just like trip and fall on my face.
So
We all fall on top of you.
Can you accurately tell me what you were trying to get out of the or trying to do initially?
Just like help him lift it.
The group. Hug?
I'm losing my fucking mind over this. This is beautiful.
Give me a second here.
He attempted to lift us in a group hug.
Tatsu!
You take 11 points of non-lethal damage as your back goes out.
Oh, lovely.
No!
Clinch.
Yeah, you go and you hear, and everyone hears a snap, and you're like, "Oh, I can't move my back."
My
This
back.
day, dwarves were told to live with their back.
That's the problem. He tried to lift with his back.
Oh, lovely. Thanks, Tatsu, and thank you, Finn, for fucking cursing it.
That was awesome. Oh, you know we were all thinking it.
Oh, I am the only one brave enough to actually say it.
Eve, do you want to attempt to lift the group?
No. I only have, a -3 to my strength rolls.
Okay, so as this is happening, Sabine is gonna cast Mage Hand and basically start bulking Steve towards the group.
A second mage hand assists.
Yeah.
Steve is small, but I don't think he's not 5 pounds small.
No, she's not trying to pick you up. She's using the Mage Hand to poke you towards them.
She's clobbering Steve with a rock, trying to pass him towards the group.
Oh, damn it.
She throws the cake at you.
We go from performing blood rituals to throwing cake.
What is this,
Food
Stalingrad?
fight.
So, as Sabine is being murdered, she points her hand towards Steve and says, "Join us!"
Steve is just looking on with kind of that, sly smile.
Join us! We need to complete the circle!
The ritual is not complete without the Steve.
He will shake his head and then kind of come over and climb on top of Treble and then join the hug.
Fuck
Do you want me to roll a climb for that?
Sorry, I need to step away. Be right back.
DM,
Yes.
Out?
Steve was asking if he's supposed to roll for climbing because he's trying to climb the dwarf.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Nice. This is not going to go well.
Watch, it's gonna be another one.
Let me take a look. But that honestly should be enough to be able to climb up someone because climbing is not necessarily a hard DC. It's when you're trying to do things like vertical climbs that are difficult.
Not to mention, it's not like he's moving, we are literally hugging each other.
Ow! Watch the hair.
So a DC 10 for climbing is a surface with ledges to hold on to and stand on, such as a very rough wall or ship's rigging. Honestly, I would consider a person to be like that.
So you're saying Treble is a bit rough. Alright.
Yeah.
He's like a little rough around the edges.
I can activate my rock skin if that will help.
I'm not saying he's a little rough, I'm saying he's very rough.
It's good.
He's saying you need to shave, is what he's saying.
Yes. Tell the dwarf he needs to shave.
This is memes.
That's like telling a gnome he needs to be castrated.
Alright? Just because he doesn't grow facial hair is another thing. But he keeps himself clean.
All right. I think I've had enough of this silliness. I think this might be a good place to call it.
Yes. I think so. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can deal with the fact that a couple individuals met important people, and you still have other interactions that have to happen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I need to remember to not give the cake to Balto.
Oh yeah, chocolate's not good
Yeah,
for
it's a
Doggo.
fucking chocolate.
I'll have to roll poison for him.
No.
I mean, granted, he's a lot hardier than most dogs.
Rolls 1, dies. Kills Balto with chocolate.
Well, shit. That'll cause some interpersonal.
Maffeo kills Sabine.
Aren't the poisons in Pathfinders just like debuffs, not actual damage?
Oh, he has
Oh,
no idea.
oh,
Okay,
you
Pathfinder
poor
actually
individual.
made. Okay, Pathfinder actually made poison so much worse than in D&D.
So
Okay,
they
'cause I
do.
was like
They usually do
looking at
damage
the.
to ability scores.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yes, that's what I was saying.
dude, like, okay, so when I was playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, poisons were literally the worst cancer because, like, a single enemy can recast poison on you with each attack, which would like semi-permanently remove your stats each time.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Because I went through the list of poisons and I only saw like one or two that actually did like physical damage.
Anyway,
Yeah. No, those are the less dangerous ones.
but yes. So is everyone okay with ending the session right here?
Yup.
Yes, I need a nap.
Isn't Stalingrad in like 40 minutes?
About, yeah. Anyway.
Well, then I might be a little late.
Just inject the caffeine right into your vein.
Anyway, so yeah, I would like to thank everyone for watching, and hopefully next week. So, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.